You like each other.
Who are you?
Look. Welcome to D&D Tonight. My name is... Wait, hang on. I don't know if everything's online yet. I've never been early at that. Hi, welcome to D&D Tonight. My name is Bradley. We are on air thanks to Corporate Streams. Thank you. I got the thumbs up from the tech department. Thank you to Corporate Streams for placing us onto the internet. We have an exciting show for you all today. Let me go ahead and have our players introduce themselves, starting with, I'm just going to go left to right. Jordan, who are you playing today?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jordan. I'm playing your favorite accidentally mischievous mountain dwarf cleric, Gwenor Lighthammer. And I'm playing...
Way to go.
Good job.
Dina.
I thought I muted it before.
That's all good, Dino. Now you get to talk. Who are you playing as today?
Hi, I'm Dino, and I'm playing the Tabaxi Rogue Stonewind.
Excellent. Miss Caroline, who did you bring to the table?
Hi, I'm going to be playing Imogen, the half-elf barbarian.
Great. And last but not least, Mr. Lumen, what do you have on your sheet today?
I am playing the large dust-carded Furbolg. I can't remember. Graviturgy. That's the word. I keep thinking Graviton. Graviturgy wizard.
Excellent. And to give you kind of a recap of what happened on the last episode, the party had been brought together through a scuffle in the back alleys of Shady Creek Run, where they were quickly noticed by a person who they were currently saving, and were placed in line with the work of the Trebayne family. Darko Trebayne, the family's household leader, has essentially put them to task to follow a set of magical breadcrumbs through the haunted and somewhat infested Molaesmyr ruins in the Savalier Wood. Following this, they had encountered a number of things, both dark water that tried to pull them down and drown them, plants that paralyzed them, and in fact, the Nightback clan, which was successful in capturing all 5 of them, including their very fond of NPC companion, Pi Lyodon.
He has a last name?
Fuck you. He has a backstory. He has aspirations. It doesn't matter.
Let's name a few of his aspirations right now. I'm curious.
He's interested in studying cartography mostly. He's always wanted to see the edge of the Menagerie Coast since his family left the Pallet Grove, but that's all information you can find out in character. Anyway.
He actually has like a family in dreams, and we're just like, we want to kill him.
Unwarranted hate, but you know what? That's kind of the thing. I'm getting off topic. Look, just so that you're aware, they got captured by the Nightback clan. They made their escape with the assistance of a dark elf by the name of Fenray Thalis, who may have deceived them a little bit in his intentions, but parted amicably by leaving a dagger in the possession of our Tabaxi Stonewind. We ended our last game by taking camp about an hour's walk away from where the battle had ensued between the Tabaxi only clan of forest-dwelling rangers, let's call them, and our intrepid party as they get closer and closer to the ruins of Molaesmyr. And so, after a interesting night's watch, some interesting conversation, and eventually you guys all wake up to the light of the sun, peering through the rotting trees of this disgusting forest. Mr. Stone.
For some reason, I lost the information on the dagger.
Excellent.
Can you remind me what it does again?
Absolutely.
I just realized that the page that it was on is somehow gone.
Oh, that's all good.
While you're doing that, Dust is going to come out immediately and summon and start doing the ritual casting for Rune and for Neela.
Okay. You go ahead and is that 2 separate like hour-long procedures?
No, it's 10 minutes. So it's like 20 minutes he's just doing this.
Within
20 minutes of the
20
day.
minutes, you guys have a ghost-like mare summoned in the name of Rune. And Neela, is this cat similar to the one that you yourself, Mr. Lumen, own?
Very similar, but actually, I'm going to make her into an owl tonight.
Excellent.
Changing it up.
She's a large, like, great horned owl.
Ooh.
And
With the big eyebrows.
Looking at both Rune and Neela. He looks to Rune. He's like, "I'm so sorry for getting you killed. I'm so sorry. It was never again. I will do that. Never again."
it kind of like nuzzles into you just a little bit. All is forgiven between you and this feathered friend. Mr. Stone, a little reminder on the Blade of Broken
Thank
Mirrors,
you.
and I'll go ahead and keep it shorthand for you.
+1, right?
First and foremost, yes, it is a +1 to attack and damage rolls. It has, we'll just call this the boomerang effect. When you make a ranged attack, it returns to your hand. When you kill someone, the blade remembers the appearance, and you can revert. You can change your appearance to that of anyone who you have attacked with it.
Right.
Do you remember his name?
Oh my gosh, yes, I do. I have like that, and then I wrote the stats on the other side. It's Zuzu is what I was gonna call him, or Gazu.
Zuzu would work. Ragazu is his true name, but he doesn't mind the nickname or monikers. He's a very jovial spirit of some kind living within this dagger that's communicates to you telepathically. So, party, when you hear Ragazu speaking to our fellow friend the Tabaxi, you won't hear him outright unless he chooses to actually speak with you intentionally. After you've completed your rituals within this 20 minutes, what is the rest of the party doing? Miss Gwenora, where did we find you this morning?
Where do we find Gwenora?
Yeah, like what are you up to for the 20 minutes while Dust is currently casting spells to bring back his familiar and the stallion?
Well, for Gwenora in the morning, she typically will be I haven't done this accent in a week.
It's all good. It's all good.
But she replots her hair and she says her morning prayers. You know, typical cleric stuff.
Alrighty. In the middle of your prayer to the Everlight, you hear stomping through the forest a familiar, very pale, very blonde-looking elf, Pi, who has come back through with an armful of a couple of dead rabbits and a little satchel of like fruit. He's like, I can't speak to the quality of the fruit, but hopefully these will be good if we want to go ahead and skin them and put them on the fire. Thought breakfast would be in order.
Hey, let's
Hands
eat.
over to the group. We hate that kid.
Did you think you might bring some coffee with you?
Sadly, I did in fact look for any coffee beans, but sadly the only thing that looked like it appeared as though it was quite diseased, the tree it was coming off of, so I thought it would be best to decline from gathering it.
Hi, through this entire journey, remind me, why are you here?
Essentially, I keep you on task. I serve as your valet for any task that you require, as well as ensure that you have stayed on the path to keeping Lord Trebane's interests in mind, that you are in fact heading towards the direction. And to speak on that briefly, my report will be that you have in fact adhered to the route the entire step of the way, even through danger.
And why are you here?
How deep do you want this question to go?
How deep are you willing to answer?
Well,
I don't trust you. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't. You led us into a deadly forest. You've really done nothing to help us. And in fact, there are wizards and the Cerberus assembly in these ruins, and I need to know, can you hold your own?
I can do a fair bit of hunting. I do not imagine that I would be very useful to you in a fight. I can hold a knife, sure, and I can stab at it, but I'm uninitiated. I would not call myself a proficient fighter by any means.
Well, you brought us breakfast, so that's a good start.
I agreed.
He does take out a knife he was talking about, a very simple blade with no actual hilt on it, like no part that guards. Anyway, he begins to like cut the tops of the rabbits' heads, and then like pulling off a sock off them, skins the rabbits, and then begins to like put them onto a stick and prepare them on the morning fire. He looks at you, Mr. Dust. He says, "To answer your previous inquiry, I'm here because my family found themselves in the Savalier Wood, and the Trevane family saw fit to protect us. He's employed both my mother and my father. I don't know where my siblings are. They were lost in this woods some time ago. It was before almost memory. Before he left, Lord Darko did say this. He reminded me of the comfort that my family has experienced, how he has employed them to have good lives, safe lives in one of the most dangerous places in possibly the continent. And that should I fail in my endeavor, that may change. And that was all he said on the matter. So, staying with you, going into a forest in which I may die would prove a service to my family if I don't remain.
So that dust kind of feels dickish now.
Yes.
Ooh, shame.
That does not.
I-
I'm not useless. I can snare. We did back in the old home. I can find some food and I can assist with some history. I don't harbor anything towards you other than, oh God, I hope that we just all make it out of here alive. I pray to Sahane that we don't encounter anything that you are not able to deal with, and so far we have not.
Well,
Hmm.
as long as you're on our side, I think we'll be okay.
Sounds good to me. He like breaks off one of the legs of the rabbit, and begins like kind of munching on it. He's like, needs more time. After the rabbits are cooked, you guys have your breakfast. The road is yours. But first, before we get that far, I'll take a perception check from Imogen.
Ooh.
As we're kind of getting everything ready and she's doing that, I'm just going to kind of walk past Pi and gently kneel down. I will help you find your siblings. I know that feeling. And then I just continue walking.
That's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Sorry.
It's all good.
I thought I had it muted. My bad.
It's all good. Imogen, as you're taking in the morning, you do hear the flapping of leather wings, distant at first, and then considerably larger. As you take like this moment of silence in the woods to kind of focus in on the sound, make a, you know what, from the perception check I'd allow, go ahead and make a nature check real quick.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
There is a creature that lives in the frigid north in the graying wildlands in a place called Mythborough. It is a place that everyone is told to stay the fuck away from because it houses an ancient white dragon. One time when you were little, you heard the sound of, you heard something very similar to the sound, and behold the frigid doom Geladon flying overhead of Palebank. It seemed too small a target for the ancient white dragon to have taken notice, but the sound is too dissimilar for you to dismiss that this thing could not possibly be a very large-sized dragon.
Okay, I don't want to alarm everyone, but I believe there is a dragon among us.
Where? I don't see anything.
Is that like metaphorical, like the dragon within?
No, like there's one up in the sky right now. I can hear her.
Is there anything up there?
Looking up through the tree line, it's almost impossible to actually see the sky through the graying and rotting trees in this area. You can hear a number of insects. If you listen closely, though. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm going to send out Neela to fly out.
Okay. Are you putting your eyes into her?
Yes.
Okay. Through your owl eyes, you go high above the tree line, breaking through the branches and going up into the sky. Even the clouds seem to carry a little bit more grayish to them as they pass over the Savalier Wood. Soaring through the air, you kind of take in stock as you look across the entirety of the skyline, just scanning for it. You do see, very briefly, a green blur quickly hit into the tree line. Say maybe about almost 200 feet away from you guys, just You just catch the end of the green wings and tail of this creature.
Snap back into my. It's a green dragon, and it's not far from us. 200 feet. You said like south of us, north of us?
It would be from your position. It would be west of you.
To the west of us.
A green dragon?
A green. That is all I saw. I don't know if dragons keep one color, but green is what I saw. I snapped Neela back to me, by the way.
How big was it? Like a
dragon.
Yes, I really think when it comes to dragons, it really doesn't matter the size.
Well, maybe if it's older or younger. A baby dragon is a lot easier than a full-fledged adult dragon.
It's true.
From what I hear, I haven't actually faced one before.
Do you want to face one now? I don't feel like.
I prefer not to. Is it like where we're heading?
It is perpendicular. You guys are heading more north into the wood from the south of the Savalier Wood. So you're heading northwards. This happened to the far west of you, roughly maybe 200 feet from where Neela was flying previously.
I can send Neela to fly farther to keep an eye on it as we continue north, but I don't know who's going to carry me. I'm bigger than all of you.
You hear Rune.
How long has it been since I've summoned him?
About 5 minutes or so.
Okay. I thought it was a little longer.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I'm a little curious as to where it's going.
I mean, no harm in looking, I guess, as long as we keep an eye on where we're stepping again.
This is a dragon. There is harm in looking at a dragon. They aren't simple beasts. They're magical and they're smart. I mean, I'll keep with you no matter what we choose to do. But
why don't we send Neela, like you said, and hop on Rune, and we'll keep going along our path. And if you see something worth investigating, then worst comes to worst, the dragon eats Neela, and you just get her back in another 10 minutes.
Just kind of like, fine. It's better than us, but still.
No offense to Neela, but I mean, if I could be brought back to life and whenever my master chooses, I'd love that.
Neela just like stares at you directly.
All right. So, what is the plan?
I'll get on Rune and I'll send Neela out and get into her vision as Rune follows the party.
Excellent. Yeah. As you head over the forest, going over to the crash site, which is pretty easy to find since you remember the trajectory of this dragon and remember and see the large pit where it had gone in. I would like you to make a survival check as the owl. Oh, unless you keep your mental attributes under 5 familiar.
I do.
Okay, then go ahead and make a survival check.
It is a 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. Yeah, I'm glad you're using them all now. It's gonna be great. As Mila like dives down, you can see like this area of broken wood on trees and leaves that have fallen from the trees themselves, creating a very clear path for Mila to fly through. What is Mila's armor class?
The moment she's going to get attacked, I'm snapping her back.
Okay. What's her armor class?
Let me look at Owl real quick. I totally forgot I need to get that. It is 11. 11,
okay. As you see this quick green talon moving through, you get to see the entirety of this dragon that is kind of just lying in wait. As Mila is dissipated from the existence, you see this adult green dragon just barely miss your owl.
It's not a young dragon. It's a full-grown adult dragon.
As he says this, you can hear in the distance, several of the
Snap.
birds take to the sky.
Snap Neela back.
Right. So keep moving and don't go say hi then.
And maybe somewhere with tree cover.
Right.
We're in
What,
a, we're in a
are-
large forest, aren't we?
I think
That's correct. Yeah. You
Extra
are-
trees.
extra trees.
You do see like there is kind of a path laid out. It's kind of the first time you've seen a road in some time. And I wouldn't call it a road. A lot of the earth has kind of overgrown it and the roots have kind of pushed up any cobblestones. But it looks like there was a path here at one point. Who's got the glasses?
Gwenora, I think.
Nora.
Yeah, I do.
Excellent. Did you want to go ahead and follow the sand, or are you going for cover for right now?
How close is the sand to cover?
Looking at it, it looks like placing the glasses on and seeing through the familiar blue hue of things, the sand itself trails along this path.
Okay, so I turn to my companions and say, all right, we can stay along the path and follow the glasses, or we can find better cover. What do you think?
What is the path like a wide path, or is it still covered with trees and everything?
It is still covered with trees, so there is some pretty good distance that you can have in. Like, there's some pretty good cover on either side if you are flanked on either side by trees.
Okay. Well, perhaps we take the path and then scatter if we need to.
Just
That-
keep our eyes open.
Keep it all going. I
It is a
believe that-
dragon. We'll probably be able to see it.
Hopefully. I can continue keep Neela in the skies, a ways from us.
Have Neela give us a signal, a good squawk when she sees movement.
I'll snap her back if I see anything. I send her back out, and before I do, be like, I know, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and I send her out and I go into her vision again to kind of go to where the dragon was, or like halfway to where the dragon was, in between us and the dragon.
Sure. Looking over that kind of tree line, you don't actually see anything at first, and then you see the moving of the trees just parting out of the way. Just it's hard of something that size to conceal itself effectively. It does not appear to be approaching your party as of right now. It seems just to be moving towards a direction.
Is it the direction we're going, or just?
It is running parallel to your path at this time.
I'm starting to mutter. I don't know if it's following us, but it is parallel to us. So keep on guard and keep eyes on the west side as Neela keeps following.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much safer we can be if it knows where we are. Do we want to stop and hide for a minute and see if it keeps going without us? Yes?
That works for me.
I can't hear you guys. I'm in owl.
Okay.
I could probably tug at his boots or something.
You can feel the sensation of movement on you. Do you want to snap back in?
I'm keeping eyes. You move forward. Tug me twice to move forward, or tug me once to stop.
And if I yank you, that just means come along.
He can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
And then I turn to the party, and then I say, I think he'll figure it out.
We'll be fine. We'll move. I guess can we like move off to the side of the road? Is there like a little bit more coverage off the road in the trees?
Yeah, and in fact, Gwenora, as you're looking through the glasses, you can see that the trail itself actually goes off the road to the right of you, heading more towards the northeast.
Away from the dragon?
Yeah, and into a tree line. No path anymore, but there is an actual like set of trees, and it looks like you can follow this kind of the sand over into that direction.
Right, everyone follow me this way. Looks like the
Okay.
path takes us into cover.
Right. Should we move more stealthily for a bit until we know the dragon's gone?
Probably.
Yeah, can we slow down to like a stealthy pace?
Yeah, go
For a
ahead.
little bit?
if everyone would choose to make a stealth check, you may do so. We will treat this as an averaged roll. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Gwenor, what kind of armor do you have on?
Studded leather, I believe.
Okay, alrighty, never mind. Then you're all good.
Yeah.
I'll roll stealth for horse.
Dirty 20 for Stonewind.
Dirty 20, okay. Are we surprised that the rogue gets a dirty 20?
8 for the horse.
And 7 for 7.
No.
7, and then, I'm sorry, one more time, Imogen.
11.
11, so, okay. And I'm sorry, Mr.
Plop, plop.
Me?
Mr. Dust.
Oh.
8 for the horse.
8 for the horse? Okay. The group rolls an average of 12 for their stealth. The Tabaxi, in his element, is able to kind of move between the trees without any kind of issue. The barbarian is able to follow the pace, but not quite keep as quiet as her. The cleric, unfortunately, hits against a few trees and kind of shakes a few things down, causing some commotion. But it is, in fact, Rune the horse, with difficulty getting through an incredibly heavy tree area. Oh, hello there, Virgil. Going through this, he's just, are you going to nap here? It's cool. Just be chill about it, okay? You bite my foot, you're out. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking at my
Young man.
Don't do it. Don't listen to them. Cat ears. Anyway, the horse, unfortunately, it's not on a pretty easy path to follow. Oh, you're going full donut. Sorry, he's distracting. I'm gonna pay attention here.
Sweet.
Following this this area is not the easiest thing for a horse to do, and as a result, there's several times where it cries out a neigh that echoes across the forest itself. In your owl form, you can see the trees suddenly stop. And then one tree kind of moves to the side slowly, goes back into place, and the tree in front of it starts moving. It begins to close in on your guys' position.
Did someone make a noise? It's heading in our direction.
I like smack Dust's leg like hard, like trying to get his attention to come out.
Oh, what? It's coming towards us, at least slowly. But what
Yes,
happened?
because your horse made some noise. But let's get off the horse, maybe ditch him for a bit, and find a better place to hide without a big clopping beast around.
I'm going to look at Rune. I am so sorry, buddy. I will do my best to not let you get eaten. I know nothing really happens to you. I know. I'm gonna get off, go, and just like have him run.
Alrighty. Which direction would you like to send him? North, south, east, west?
Kind of. So if we're parallel, diagonal towards north towards the
dragon.
was.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep Neela in the sky, just watching over Rune, and then have her kind of like telepathically signal to me or something whenever it's close, so I can snap Rune out.
Okay. As you head out back into the forest, you guys continue to hang on a second. Who's directing Dust? Alrighty, Gwenor, as you're dragging Dust through over these roots that are becoming harder and harder to navigate over, there's several times.
Sorry. I'm not in Owl Eyes. I just have her flying.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
You do approach a small little grove, a circle of trees, and Gwenora, it's the strangest thing. The sand goes directly into a tree.
So everyone, it kind of stops here. It looks like the sand's going into a tree. So,
Is there something up with the tree?
Maybe it's like a portal or something.
I'd like to take a look.
Make an investigation check, sir.
Snap into Owl Vision while we stop.
Not terrible. 16.
16. Stone, as you're kind of peering over and looking at like the knots, like looking like Princess Bride style, there's got to be like a thing, like a thing that I can pull that will open up a door.
Put
Instead,
the candle back. Sorry.
I want to watch that movie tonight now. You see words inscribed in Elvish on there. Who reads Elvish? 1, 2. Okay.
Thank God.
3.
Oh,
Me.
Cool. You don't understand what you're looking at, Stone, but everyone else does. Real quick, Mr. Dust, to give you this is Horse Watch.
No, I'm in. Yeah, this is horse watch up in owl form.
Lumen, we've got a great sight over the trees of the Savalier Wood. It looks like that horse is breaking out for the main road. And oh my gosh, did you see that dragon just bite into them? It comes through the tree line. And I know you wanted to snap him out as soon as like that happens. Yeah. The teeth come down, like biting into it. And you see, you get just a moment to like dissipate the rune as it goes in between the jaw of this thing. You can see the dragon just sniffing around for it, looking, and in anger just spews this column of poisonous green aerosol. I really was looking for the final word there and I fucked it on the end. Overhead and begins sniffing down at the ground below. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and set a timer. There we go.
I'm going to tell Neela to just make as much noise and direct it away from us.
Okay. This is what it says on Elvish on the tree. If you push me out of a window, you will get a widow. If you bring me back into the door, you get a donor. What am I? Timer starts now.
if you push me out of a window,
Don't use Google. You're better than that.
Can you type that?
Yes. I will
That'd be
go
good.
ahead and place it into the chat for you. I will go ahead and pause it for your convenience.
Thank you, because I
welcome.
only got the first line.
If you push me out a window, you get a widow. If you bring me in the door, you get a donor. Push me out a window.
Widow.
And there you guys have it.
Door. Donor.
Oh, I got it. It's the letter N.
Fuck you, Dino. Did you know this or are you just that
No,
smart?
I literally just figured it out. Because window, take the N out of window and it's widow, and it put the N in door and it's donor.
As you fuck you.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. As you carve the letter, did you want to go ahead and carve the letter N into the tree?
If it has to be in Elvish, I don't know Elvish, so I'll just be. Oh, it's the letter N. It's the letter N. I don't know. Somebody's got to. Does it work with the letter N in common?
As you do, it does not. The tree just swallows it up with bark over the initial carving.
So I'll hand my dagger to Gwenora. Quick, Elvish N. Carve
Okay.
it in.
Go. And I carve an Elvish N into the door.
And as you do, you see a split through the tree as it opens up and leads into a staircase that goes deep, deep down. You can hear behind you the sound of as something is breaking through several trees all at once. Something very close on the scent of you.
Is it?
I say we all make a run for
Yeah,
it.
Let's go.
I see it coming
The
towards
tree.
us, right?
Yeah, you can see this thing hastily moving towards you.
Okay, I'll snap Neela and
As we're going in, Pi gets in front of me and I push him over.
Kick him downstairs.
It's like,
Damn.
he stands up. He goes in and follows Imogen into the chasm. Who's following in after Pi? Gwenora's in. Who's that?
And
I'm in.
I
I'm
yank
assu-
Dust along with me. Like I kind of drag him as best I can.
yeah. Comes back, just runs in. I pissed it off. I'm sorry. Run. Where are we going?
Stone, were you already entered in through here?
I guess. Am I the last one in? I guess.
You can be the last one in. You do
Cool.
notice the doors are still open, and you can see like the shades of green as this thing is like stampeding towards you.
Does it look like I can close it at all? Can I scratch off the N and then like run inside?
Yeah, you can go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Sure.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that one. 22.
Let's go.
22. As you are able to move real quick and put your best guesstimate on where Grenor is scratched in the tree, you scratch over it and you can feel like the doors begin to close. You can see the green eyes of this dragon moving through the tree line with a mouth that opens up sideways. And as the doors
I'll
close,
flip it off as it closes.
you do so, and you can actually feel on the sides of the trunk several teeth that go through the bark of it, and you can hear like this kind of tearing sound as it begins to try and rip the door off of the bark. Just you want to stay there?
I'm leaving. I'm down after that. As soon as I saw him, I'm leaving.
Alrighty. If I'm not mistaken, oh yes, Miss Gwenora.
Oh no, sorry, that was just a joke.
No, it's all right. If I'm not mistaken, everyone here, with the exception of the furball, can see in the dark.
Actually, no, I can't.
Bullshit.
Oh wait, no, I
That's
do. I
dark vision.
lied. I lied.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Mountain dwarf. I'm good.
Yeah, half elf. He knows how to do it. Furbolgs, for whatever reason, they're friends of the forest, but the forest at night apparently doesn't give a shit about them. I'm sorry, Lumen.
Then someone pull me along. I can't see personally through the dark, but I can through Nila if I use her.
I have a light if you'd like some. If we should illuminate ourselves a bit.
Magic
I also-
dungeons might be a scary thing to be seen.
See what I have.
Fair. I mean, if you want to hold on.
While you're looking for what you might have, I turn to Pi and I go, when everyone was trying to figure out that riddle, you just kind of stood there. I could tell you weren't trying to work for it.
I was thinking about it. I was also I was distracted by the dragon mostly.
So
I'm not going-
you get easily distracted when in a stressful situation.
I
Oh,
don't-
Imogen, leave the poor man alone.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I'm just saying, I don't know if he is looking out for us the way that he claims.
Honestly, I thought he would be a lot harder to bring around than he is. So I'm just happy he's not actively sabotaging us.
Yes, that's I am. I hate that my bare minimum is that I'm not hindering you, but I'm sorry, Miss Imogen. I will be. I don't know. Just tell me what you need me to be, and I will.
I want you to make a clear effort,
Okay, I can do that.
whatever that might be.
Pi goes ahead and he moves to the he goes between, in front of you. He goes in front of Stone. Oh no, Stone's in the very back. He goes in front of you, Miss Imogen, who are currently leading everyone down these stairs. And he goes ahead and he claps his hands twice and creates a small thing of light. He says, "I will lead us down if that is okay."
I think that's a great idea. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Okay.
For showing some initiative for the first time ever.
He's gonna die, and I'm gonna feel a little bad.
He begins to walk down, guiding the way. You guys go down a long time. I mean, you take step after step, which sometimes will even out into a plateau, but then continue to delve deeper and deeper. You estimate it's been about an hour since you've initially come in through the tree trunk, going straight down, before eventually you reach an opening. In this opening, you can see a few different things about this area, and the light that Pi has illuminates it a little bit better. For one, there seems to be an almost gravestone-like door at the very far end of this room. It looks like a headstone, but it is much taller. I'd say about maybe 20 feet tall and about 10 feet wide. A strange rectangle that illuminates itself with several different sigils on it. Further along, you can see there are people who are in cloaks, hoods down, just kind of like taking in notes next to some ever-burning lights and lanterns, in which they're currently like writing things and have like a makeshift setup of like papers on tables.
How far away are they from us?
I would say at this distance, they're roughly about 80 feet away.
Yeah, and they don't notice this yet, right?
As soon as Pi sees the other people, he like clasps his hands shut, and the light goes away. You can see the other cloaked figures kind of looking over and being like, "Did you see something?" And that's kind of all you get to hear from that conversation.
What happened? What did you see?
From what I can tell, I believe there are 4 of them. I didn't catch all of them. I believe one might be a dragonborn. I saw someone who resembled an older gentleman, a very short person, and it looked like one of your kind, a Theobald.
What are they doing with others?
So they didn't see you though?
I don't think so. I disilluminated the moment I saw it. I was very worried about what might happen. I mean, what could happen to me if I didn't. And he like darts his eyes over to Imogen like as he's saying this.
I turn to Stone and I just go, I just gave him a little bit of pressure and look at how helpful he's been.
Well, perhaps tough love is the right way to go. Good job.
Maybe.
So I mean, if they didn't see Pi, that means they can't see in the dark, much like dust.
I asked
so-
Neela if they can see us.
She replies. "Whoa."
Do you need me to do like a percent? Well, because I can
Yeah,
communicate
I'm just
telepathy.
fucking with you. If you want
She
them,
goes,
if you want her to just like go out there and survey them, you can go ahead and send them out. I'd take a stealth check first and then a perception check. It's okay, buddy. It's just an owl. He's stirring. He's having dreams where he's kicking something.
Oh.
6.
A 6 for the stealth.
And 17. Oh, sorry. 9 for the stealth and dirty 20 for perception.
Okay. Anila goes in and immediately as she's flying, she's like hit something. Like it does like a somersault roll midair, barrel roll. There it is. And kind of goes around and takes in through your eyes. You can see there is indeed a furbog of blue tone of skin, an older human, what looks to be a gnome, and a dragonborn with bronze scaling. Each of them are kind of like discussing amongst themselves, like, I didn't see anything. Who let that bird in? How did a bird get in here? He's like, it's got to happen, right? And then you can kind of see the furbog furrow his brow and be like, Master Levi, I do not believe that we are alone here. The old man kind of turns around and says, Mage armor, students, now. And each of them like tap some magical thing on their person. For the gnome, it's like a small little, it looks like a coin that's been wrapped into a bracelet. You can see the actual master has a staff that he summons to his side. Someone pulls out a wand and like dresses it over themselves, the dragonborn anyway. And for the furbog, there's a small little necklace that he places his forefinger and thumb on, and each of them glow with a blue light as the mage armor washes over them.
Quietly just say they're all mages of some sort. Do I see any particular color? Does Neela see any particular color or just design on there?
Like of like indication of what they are?
Yeah, like where they're from.
From a passerby perception check, I would say you can indicate that the robe on one of the gentlemen is of the Cerberus assembly. That's similar, like small little line with several spires coming up and down from it.
One of them has a Cerberus assembly symbol on their cloak. Must be a group. I don't know if all 4 are. Just one of them. Sounds like they were students. One's a teacher.
Are we close enough to have heard them say students mage armor?
Just the echo, but you do suddenly see the blue flashes of light. One of them says something that echoes throughout, but it's too far away for you to actually hear. And you can see one of the students beginning to approach. It looks like the dragonborn kind of moving forward. They go ahead and cast a light spell and begin to like survey the cave itself. As the light passes over the tunnel, what do you guys want to do?
Are we? Are you calling out?
We're like a wall, right?
You are currently on a staircase that opens up into a grander room.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. There is like some water to your left, like some some feature of this area that has like a subterranean pool. You guys are pretty low or underground, but your actual entrance looks inward from like I'd say the northwestern part of the room. So you seek out of that area.
Okay. Is there any place for us to hide to turn? Maybe like go around the corner.
You could go ahead and go back up and be obscured from the light.
Okay.
You guys want to back up?
Yeah, I'll say back up.
Yes.
Okay. I will go ahead and take a just an average stealth check from the party as well.
Okay. I'm gonna have Neela like she has 100
do better,
feet,
guys.
so she has 100. She can just fly, so I'm just gonna have her fly and look.
Oh,
for
she'll
some
be
sort of
fine.
Exit.
They've already
Look for
seen Neela.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have her look for an exit, like on the other side, to see if there's
Sure.
a bigger lay of the land.
Go ahead and make a perception check on her after your stealth check. Gwenora, you seem very pleased with yourself.
I did better.
I'm proud of you.
I got
you get?
3.
That is 16.
I got
Okay.
a 16 too.
21 for
Sisters.
Stone.
Alrighty. Sorry, Stone, what'd you get?
21.
21. I believe the average would be close to around 14 for your group stealth. Let's go ahead and see what the Dragonborn sees. As he looks around, he says, Master Levi, I don't see anyone here. I can go up the stairs if you'd like. Okay. And he turns around and he starts to walk back towards this gravestone-looking door.
I'm going to where we're going.
Yes, they retreat back closer in towards the area. There is only one entrance into this area, but Neela, you made a perception check. Let's see if there's an exit.
Oh. Oh wait, she gets advantage.
Yeah, girl.
Fell off the table. Isn't that a natural when it falls off the table?
Yes, it is.
There you go.
Beyond the entrance that you found, there doesn't seem to be any way out of this area.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna turn. They're going to probably see me first. Maybe I can cover for us, and you guys stay behind. And I have ways of getting away from everything, so maybe I can lead and disappear if need be. And we're all mages. Maybe I make friends. I'm a Firbolg. They got a Firbolg.
That's a good idea.
Do you all know each other?
Maybe.
Is that racist? I'm sorry.
I think that's racist.
I'm sorry. I don't know much about Firbolgs.
And
And I also whisper, but if worse comes to worse, I can silence them. You know, they're wizards. Probably can't use spells if I do that. So
That's
true.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Do we wait and see what they do and follow them in, or do we get rid of them now? What is our plan? What are we going to do?
that's why don't you go say hi? Or I can. I bet I can say hi.
Do you
I'd
want
rather-
both of us?
I'm just passing through, you know.
Why
You did
doesn't
walk-
I say hi?
I do not practice magic beyond a small cantrip that I learned. I am a fairly new initiate. If Miss Imogen believes that you know what? Fuck this. Make an intimidation check. Just,
Oh, you hate him. I love it.
Jeez.
That's going to be a 15.
hi, you little bitch. He says, he kind of like stiff upper lips, like closes his eyes. He says, if Miss Imogen believes that I should be the one to be the emissary of our group, I only need know what to say and I shall do so. You can see him audibly kind of trembling at this.
I'm just saying they could be nice. So I don't know what the big deal is.
I only need to know what to say, Miss Imogen. What would you like me to carry? What message would you like me to carry?
One moment.
I'll snap
Everyone else.
back. Yeah, I'll snap back to.
Let's form a huddle.
I'll snap Neela back and kind of just have her and put her on
I
Gwenora's
will
shoulder.
take a moment away from Pi to be like, if you all think I'm being too hard on him, I just like you the most and I don't want anything to happen to you guys. So I just volunteered him. But
Is-
would rather do it. That's fine too. So
I don't think it's dangerous. I think as long as we're here backing up, he'll be okay.
I'll go with him. If hearing his story sounds like the Verbane have a hold on his family, so maybe there's more to the kid if the family is safe. I'm currently thinking of a plan maybe to free the family at some point if that's something we choose to do. I empathize with the boy, unfortunately.
well, maybe you shouldn't have asked him so many questions, and you would have been on my side still.
How dare you try to
the
get to know someone?
the jobs of
Just go
being
ahead
a
and give-
wizard are not always fun.
Okay. Well, if you want to go, are you going to do the talking, or should I tell him what to say?
I'll go with him and I'll lead the discussion. I'll just have him learn. I looked at Pi and just kind of wave him over. I need you to be my eyes. You and me will go down. I will do the talking. You see, I speak, you learn.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. I can do that.
Nila will do something, give you a signal if I need help.
Yes.
Okay.
Master Dust, what if they are not the friendly type? Is there a plan we should discuss beforehand?
I'll take out 2 daggers.
Mr.
Oh my.
To that, I looked at Mr. Stone. Now's not the time to really delve into why you don't kill, but these are mages. We're talking about whether they be students, whether they be masters. Some of them, death is merely an inconvenience. So I really do highly suggest killing them if it comes to that.
So we
Agreed.
should.
Agreed.
Oh. All right.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But I'm not afraid to do what's necessary.
Good to know.
I just have preferences. That's all. Like I don't eat
Well-
spinach, stuff like that.
We'll talk about it later.
I don't think that spinach and murder are equivalent.
I'm
Clearly,
glad
you don't eat
I-
enough
agree with
spinach.
Miss Gwenora.
I respect your choice, and I mean I don't always want to kill either, but
I'm going to walk away as they're having the broccoli discussion.
Pi kind of looks up and like goes ahead and he walks over. He looks back at the party, notably locks eyes with Imogen and kind of like gives like a weak smile, like
I wave and smile back.
okay. So as you're approaching Mr. Dust, what is the plan here?
I poked him, put the cantrip, light up, hands up. Show them that your hands aren't together, and show them that you. I'll speak to them after that.
Now
Now, as
he produces
Clap
the
on.
look. I get to have a very few says about things in this world. That's sticking in. He makes the light appear in his hands, and the mages once again turn over. They're like, you hear the gnome in the background say, "I knew it," and like walk forward with the bracelet in hand. They said, "Who are you? You are trespassing on the survey site of the Cerberus Academy, Soltris Assembly." I mean, the old human kind of walks up at this point and like places a hand onto the gnome's shoulder. At least tries to. The reach is just barely enough. He says, "Can you address yourselves?"
we are mages as well. Some learn. My apprentice here with me. We were attacked by a dragon up top and noticed the magic beyond the tree.
Ooh,
Then
so-
solved your little puzzle and ran in. Didn't know it was what you're doing here. We don't mean to stay. Apologies. I point to. I think I know there's a firbolg. So as a fellow firbolg, I understand we can't see in the
Dust?
dark. And
You see the furball come forward and they kind of move. They're like, "Dust, is that you?" And Imogen from that, yes, Miss Gwenora.
and then I whisper to Stone because we can hear this conversation, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
loud enough for you guys to overhear. I'll say sure.
I whisper to Stone. Guess it wasn't racist, was it? Sorry.
It's not.
The
Although
furball
my spinach,
approaches,
though.
and Imogen and Dust, you both recognize this as as Goal Carden.
Checking my
So-
notes real quick.
The
Okay.
brother of Dust. Goal comes forward. He says, "Oh my gosh, brother!
Oh, what?
What are you doing down here? It's so good to see you. Have you been working out, or did you just get fat?"
No. Hold on. How do I know your goal? I'm gonna show him this. There's a scarf under like the mane of like the beard that has the the symbol for it's like the Roman symbol for what is he, number 4?
He would be number 4.
He would be number 4. So goal, but should have one that has a 5.
You do see the same tattoo reflected. It says, "Brother, it is I." And I can tell you more than that. I can tell you that you are probably one of the laziest siblings that we ever had before you left our family so many years ago. But none of that matters now. Master Levi, this is my friend, my brother, and apparently his young mage. I didn't realize you'd been studying without me. Dust, this is Master Levi Thane and a few other members of the Solstice Academy. We're down here doing work for the assembly.
Nice, good to meet you, Master Thane. Do I know him, like just by name?
Make a history check.
Okay, fine. 11.
11. It is not uncommon for the Cerberus Assembly to use like powerful mages in their own right, but still lower down the totem pole of power to go and lead Solstice Academy members in. This is like one of the people that takes kids out for a field trip.
Trip teacher. Got it.
Levi comes forward. You made a check beforehand. You can choose to make either deception or persuasion based off of what Master Levi is going to say next.
Okay.
You kind of put a truth and a lie there, so I'll give you your choice.
They're both pretty equal. I will do persuasion.
Okay.
9.
9. The Master Levi comes forward. He says, "While I am happy that you are able to have a reunion, I must admit it is unorthodox that by chance you managed to solve a riddle while being attacked by a dragon. Am I to believe that you two are only alone by yourselves, stuck here without escape? Or do you perhaps have other friends you would like to admit to at this point?"
Should we go out?
Depends.
And I pop up.
There it is.
Hello.
Are there any
I'll come
more?
out as well.
There we go. Oh, they're both red.
I
Go.
don't come out. I'm just kidding.
Goal behind me is Imogen. I'm traveling with Imogen.
You see this kind of, it is the same kind of shock of hair on the top, but it has been shaved down on the sides and pulled into kind of a pretty out there ponytail, trailing down the back. It looks as though Brother Goal, Dust's brother, kind of the fatter kid of the group. And it looks like he still has a bit of a gut on him, but he's by no means like obese. He's just got kind of a rounder stomach, and he got happy to see you, kind of waves. He says, "My goodness gracious, Imogen, it's going to be a regular Palebank Village reunion, isn't it?"
It appears that way. How are you?
I'm good. I came into Rexingtrum about maybe 2 years back. Reagan's good. He's doing fine. Your father is still the same. But I mean, we're all getting along famously here in Palebank. I hear back from my siblings every once in a while. Not a cleric in the family. Have to use the old-fashioned pen and paper to get notes back and forth.
Ooh. Sorry, go
You
ahead.
see a single tear come down Imogen's cheek, the one with the scar on it, and Pi notices it.
And Pi kind of looks over. He's like,
And I just look at him and I go, "Look away."
yeah. He looks away. He like stares straight ahead, not at anything, just not at you.
I'm gonna kind of lean down to Pi and whisper, "This is why you're not the only one looking for your siblings." And I stand
Oh.
back up.
Uh,
Go. Who else do you keep in touch with? I've been looking for all of you, actually.
Well, most of us are doing fine. The members of the Cerberus Assembly come and they took Chas. Or no, it was Ava the last a year ago. I actually had some. Sorry, I'm trying to do the voice. I actually had some. I actually have a few classes with her. She's doing well. She's dating a boy. Uh, you'd like him. Charming young fellow, but all the same, I do wish I had Dad's old shovel just on hand. He always said that one of these days, whenever any of the girls would find a boy they liked, he would brandish that shovel and just go out on the porch and clean it as anytime they came to pick up one of the daughters. The best that I can do is this, and he creates like a minor illusion of the shovel. Every once in a while, I'll bring it out, but no, it was good. The rest of the family are back there. I think that I forget they're going to be taking another one of us soon when they come of age. You fell off the map, Dust. What happened to you? Are you okay?
I'm doing fine. I turned to Levi. Master Thane, apologies. This is completely sudden, and first off, apologies for somewhat lying. It is true there is a dragon up there, a large adult green dragon that chased us down here. We did find your tree, detect magic and all that, and we're able to solve it. The Tabaxi actually solved it. You should really maybe fix the riddle.
It was not a lock of my devising. It turns out that the old elves of Molaesmyr had their own ways of keeping this particular area a secret. I do ask what your intention here is. Are you here merely by accident? Is this serendipitous that you and your brother should be meeting?
Say so. Our intention was merely passing through, and we just happened to come across this. I was actually wanting to ask, could I have a moment with my sibling away from everyone? Just it has been a while, and I'm on a personal quest to find my siblings.
Gold begins to walk forward, and you see it's not he doesn't stop him. He doesn't place his hand on him or obstruct his view. But you do see like the arm kind of raise over and go to the side of him, holding the staff. Levi puts it down gently but very firmly. And Gold kind of stops in his tracks. He says, "Forgive me, but the students are in my charge. Should anything happen to them, and it very well may be that you both are brothers, but I'm afraid that I must insist upon an inspection to make sure that this is no lark, no magical mimicry of anything. You could be Kryn soldiers who have infiltrated the Soldiers Academy, discovered the identity of one of my students, and forged a connection in which to disassemble our operation here. If you will admit to an inspection, I will admit to your reunion. I do not think this request is unreasonable."
What do you need to inspect?
"Merely your form, to determine whether or not you are in fact who you say you are, that there is no magic currently pulsating through you that allows you to take the appearance of someone else."
Fair. Then Dust kind of like raised his hands.
He says, "Very well." He turns and he points the staff and casts a spell magic, which hits you and does nothing because none of you are disguised. But it does, in fact, he does seem to like do his shoulders sag as he like sighs. He says, "Please go. I believe it's been some time since you've seen your brother. Go to him." Gold walks over and he says, "Sorry. Master Thane can be intense at times, but I assure you he's one of the best."
I'd kind of gesture to the group to kind of bring them with us, and Pi included.
Pi kind of walks out. He still has the light cantrip, like still up.
It helps. Thank you for keeping that. To everyone, Gold, these are my compatriots. You know Imogen. This is Miss Gwenora. This is Mr. Stone.
Pleased to meet you.
Mr. Stone, Madam Gwenora, it is a pleasure and an honor to meet acquaintances and friends of my brother.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Well, I can't imagine you're too satisfactory. Dust here is famous for snoring in his sleep. I know, I used to share a room with him. But all the same, welcome. How did you manage your way here? This is exciting.
There's more to that story, but I need to ask you something. And
Yes.
they've seen our curse. They've seen how it works with me.
Oh, I see we're getting very personal very quickly.
We don't have time. I need to know how it's been affecting you.
I am currently within the treatment of the best minds of the Solstice Academy. Our predicament is sometimes we are sometimes able to administer specially concocted potions to abate the magic. Although there are times in which I will admit that my hunger, and he kind of like rubs his stomach a little bit, is a little bit more to handle. I am not proud to say that my link is to a realm of greed and hunger, but I am happy to say that I have not had an incident within the last 6 months. And I think that is very well indeed due to the efforts and the struggles of the Cerberus Assembly and the Soldiers Academy's partnership. I'm actually here on an internship. The Cerberus Assembly has been looking at our family as practiced magical users and in fact adepts, perhaps even prodigies.
Yes.
We are being groomed for membership. Can you believe that? The greatest, the best minds in the world, in the Dwendalian Empire, they want us.
Dust still looks very like stern. He's kind of nodding, but he's just like,
I think I know what this is. You have to understand. And he kind of looks over to Gwenora, to Imogen, to Stone. He's like, Dust left our home some time ago. I apologize. You probably would have had the same opportunities should you had stayed. They asked for you initially, but maybe we can speak to them. I'm sure they were interested in all the family members. When they picked up Ava, they said that she would be the second of very many of our family to be offered scholarships. You know, Mom and Dad, they couldn't afford such things, and I can't imagine where you are financially, but I could put a word in for you. We could pick right back on track. We have to tell Mother and Father. My God!
I stop him, and I'm gonna kind of. I don't know if anyone can turn around, but can they are they in a way that they can hear us, or do I kind of sense if they're?
You guys are pretty far away. Master Levi kind of keeps an eye out, but you can't tell if he can hear you just because in order to judge the distance, he's a considerable ways away. The rest of the people are kind of working, but they keep on shooting glances over, kind of deciding. The gnome and the dragon bar are having a kind of heated discussion while Master Levi just keeps a careful watch.
I'm going to gently just push back my hair to kind of reveal the bandana, and I'm not joining the Cerberus. You say that we are being groomed, but I don't think you understand what that means. There's far more. There's far more behind the Cerberus Assembly. You need to understand. We aren't being groomed. We are being created. This curse is not something that was given to us.
I must stop you. I fear I must confess, if the Cobalt soul has gotten to you in a way, they're brainwashing. You understand that they tell these lies and they ripe it so close to the truth that it becomes believable. They're underminers. Everything they do upsets the Cerberus Assembly's pursuit of a better tomorrow, just in the name of old gods that walked out on the entirety of Wildmount years ago.
I'm going to try to do this as secretly as possible, but I'm gonna bring out the little white hand. So everything kind of turns grayscale for a second around Dust, and a little bit of white hand comes out. Then why am I able to now control this? Before I wasn't, and I know you can't, according to what you're saying, and you're having to take some potion they're giving you to take this away.
I mean,
They
maybe
pull
it's
it back.
that is impressive, and I'm glad that you're doing better. But how do you know that they haven't exacerbated the condition, and your own will is keeping it back?
Millie is still missing.
What?
Millie has been gone.
How long?
I don't know. I thought the Cerberus assembly took her, but turns out they couldn't. She left. There was a big mess. And I understand, and you understand, Millie is
No, she.
most likely the most powerful out of all of us. The scariest, not only temperament, but yes, the most dangerous one. But she's not stupid. We always look to her for advice and knowledge, and she had the most wisdom.
How long ago did you find this out?
A year ago, maybe.
There are resources. I don't agree with what the Cobalt Soul does. I think that they're just a bunch of manipulators, but they are considerable in the resources. And I am closer now to the greatest font of knowledge we have ever seen. You can't deny that. You can't, even if you'd like to.
And that's why I need you to not say anything about this, not even to any other sibling. This is between you. This is happenstance, and I'm very happy to see you. But understand, this goes deeper, and we need to know why we have this. Either we're being groomed, and this has been given to us by some devil or luck god, or we have been created, and that is something that is possible. I know that much about the Cerberus Assembly. They can create mage thugs. I know about them.
I will keep your confidence, but I'm restrained to my work here. What we're doing is actually, you know what? Come with me. We're actually in the middle of something. Perhaps the inside of your friends can assist, and we can talk more about our pursuit of Millie afterward.
That is something that we can do. In fact, that is. What have you been looking at here?
I think it best that Master Levi explain. Sorry, I lose the voice. I think that's something best that Master Levi could explain. Here, let us walk over and speak to them, and all will be revealed.
Before he goes, I look at him. Well, none of this leaves this circle.
He says to you in Giant, he says, by my name it shall not.
I tap him on the shoulder. Babushka.
He begins his walk back to, oh yes, Mr.
I
Stone.
was going to say, go on ahead. We'll be right there.
Of course. I'll hopefully see you there. He walks over to Master Levi and begins having discussion. Floor is yours.
So I say we play along, keep our eyes open and our ears open, and if anything turns south, that's it. Dust, I know, is your brother, but if he turns on us, I don't know. Like you said, we might have to do what we need to do, but let's try to avoid that as much as possible.
I understand. And that is more so why I was saying so much in front of you. Because you all need to know everything that's here.
Wonderful.
Again, whether they be apprentices or not, mages are mages, and especially having my sibling here. It's a bomb. I have not seen how it affects him. At least now.
Well, then let's more minds to get us through this labyrinth, as it were, and until either of us becomes less useful to the other, I think we're still okay.
Then hopefully we don't have to kill.
I'd prefer not to, especially a brother. And I'll start walking back.
As you guys rejoin, Master Levi finishes his conversation and kind of waves Gull away. He says, "It is my understanding that Gull has asked for your assistance in a matter. I understand that you are a practitioner of magical arts, and if you have made it this far through the Savalier Wood, there must be something about you that you can assist. He looks over at Imogen. He says, and of course, a strong arm has never been unnecessary, including here. But you should know the full story going forward. He goes ahead and goes over to part of the cave wall. It looks like it's been brushed with bristles just to reveal like areas that have been uncovered. He says, "You all know of the calamity that happened some 835 years ago. The war actually waged for a long time, and this area is in fact in itself one place where a battle was taking place between four gods, three gods and one very powerful mage who might as well be considered on their level. Underneath the ground, the old elves of Molaesmyr were developing something very special." He moves on to the next pictograph that looks as though it is depicting the door, but it looks as though it is separated and opened up far wider. He says, "This door is possibly the greatest scientific, magical, and spatial achievement of the old world. It has the ability to transport people through the world and to other worlds and existences. We have only a few middlings of where they could possibly go. But the calamity being the hellscape of fighting that it was, these elves were looking to escape to a better place. We continue to hear things of Alexia, a planet far, far away. Think about it. Since the beginning of time, have you not wandered up at the sky and wondered if there's other life elsewhere? There is. And there's some of the people that came here from Exandria. There's another planet out there as well, one referred to as Eberron, a place of incredible achievement, advancements beyond that you have ever seen before. And this door can transport us there. If we can unlock its secrets, then there's a chance that we could change everything about everything. We would be able to harness the power of not only a device that can move us between areas within our own space, but across millions, perhaps even billions of miles through the vast coldness, maybe even to where the gods themselves are." Now, some 250 years ago, the elves were working on it again. They apparently some of them stayed behind. They did not want to forsake a world that their gods had given them, but those who had left had passed through the door. The elves had tried to restart it once again to see if they could move and find the old gods that had left them, to prove that if they could match the achievements, then they could in fact themselves walk amongst the gods. That was 250 years ago. That is when the Savalier Wood was corrupted. We think that they somehow misused the door. They opened it up and the corruption swept through. A portal was created on the top of the very ruins of Molaesmyr, where Molaesmyr stands now. And all manner of terrible creature crept through and began to destroy those around it. It began to mutate those people around it into terrible beings and choke the very life of the wood. And now it continues to spread.
And you want to open that door again?
I want to close it. This corruption is still leaking in from the residual portal, and it's coming from this door. I don't know if it can be closed, but I think that it could at least be turned to the place the elves originally went. But we don't have the means of redirecting it. We have bare etchings, but we don't have the correct assumptions of where we're going quite yet.
While he's talking, two things. I'm gonna. What are you missing? What do you need to know that's missing? And then the other is I'm gonna insight check him to see if I believe
ahead.
what.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Please, for the love of God. Oh, nice. 22.
22. He seems to be telling the truth as it stands. The man has not weaved anything into the story, and it is in fact a story, so that is speculative. But from what he's telling you, it is the truth. What we're missing,
close it and not misuse it.
He wants to stop the corruption the Savalier would. Think about that. If we were able to accomplish this, it would mean the decay of the Savalier Wood would go away. It would make Shady Creek Run something that could be policed by the Dwendalian Empire. the Savalier Wood is the only reason that we haven't invaded up north to reclaim the land. And the elves from Uthadurn could finally rejoin back to their homeland. And hopefully, underneath the rule of Dwendalian Empire, or at least partnership, this door could open up more than you know. And I mean that by it could open up possibilities within our own plane, our own planet, our own continent. It could change everything we know. It could tip the scales of war. It could save lives.
Well, you lost me at war.
There's a conflict brewing with the Dwendalian Empire and the Kryn dynasty. They are currently deploying out troops as we speak, but the Kryn are a resilient force who believe in a strange god, and I do not know if even with the resources of the Cerberus Assembly it can be done. But I think that this door is the key to opening up a brighter future for all of Exandria.
How do we know that you're not and the Cerberus Assembly are not trying to misuse this power? You checked us out. You've made sure that we are who we are. But I also know, as one myself, we seek knowledge and we seek power. And there are a lot of us in history and in present that want to misuse when we find power.
Currently, the Cerberus Assembly's goal is to simply stop the corruption of the Savalier Wood. In a single moment such as that, it would ensure that the Dwendalian Empire can expand their territory northward, which is a benefit to everyone. That means that sanitation, trade routes, law can come up north to the Graying Wildlands. It would also mean that the elves of Uthadurn would be able to return to their original place and begin to rebuild after so many years of being forced into the frigid north. And 3, the Cerberus Assembly wants to better understand everything. The true pursuit of knowledge, that's what we're interested in. If we can replicate technology such as this, travel would be a thing of the past. You could instantly move between areas without the need of casting spell slots or consistently constructing teleportation circles. I'm talking about instantaneous spatial, planar, and planetary travel. Think about the worlds ahead that we could travel to. Roll credits.
Name of the show.
And what you're doing this. What do you know? What if the Cobalt Souls? What are they doing about this?
I look around, Master Dust. Do you see the Cobalt Soul anywhere besides yourself in this room?
I didn't realize you knew.
I do not keep interest in what the Cobalt Soul is attempting. I know that their pursuits are noble, but their practices are rigid, less flexible than the Assembly. My interest is purely in operating the door and at least stopping the corruption. Maybe that means closing it. Maybe it means studying it further. But we have run into a small stumbling block. See, we don't actually know how the door itself is operated. There are buttons and switches about this room and on the door itself, but nothing has lent its insight to us. Everything we've tried has had no effect on it.
What have you tried so far? And also, to be fair, the Cobalt Soul is filled with monks. Wizards, I know, are a different thing. So, for now, I'll put aside whatever differences there is, and I look to everyone else. Do you want to help them close this? This is...
I mean, ending the corruption on the wood is all good in my book.
Agreed.
You're
Muted.
Imogen.
She's under silence.
I
Dispel, please, dispel!
Drum roll, please. I've decided pretty much from the very second you started talking that I'm in. So.
All right.
Excellent. We have a few leads on this. For one, there are runes that are etched into the side of the door itself. We need help deciphering them because we believe them to be the key to the operation of such the door. We also believe that this thing runs off of a way line. Do you understand the intricacies of how time has gravity?
I understand half of it. Yes.
A graviturgy.
Yes.
Very interesting. To make it simplified, imagine time as a super heavy line and that our own timeline lies on. The more possible or probable an event is, the greater density that event has. So across several different modes of possibility, it will be intersected with our own line. But our line is the purest because everything is happening as it should be. Now, doubt is a way of traveling along this line, thinking of one solution rather than another. But eventually, everything is pulled to be more probable to our line, yet several may exist upon the fold. That is the understanding that the Kryn have on the basis of the Luxon. The beacons themselves put through all that could be possible into a single mote and actually inhibit that to travel and deviate from the main line to create a different trajectory. Now, this is a rudimentary, and it's not going to be a perfect example, but the idea is that the way line itself can have physical manifestations here on our planet, and some of them run through this line, yet they're all unarranged. So they must actually be placed back into alignment for the power to course through the door and allow the travel to initially happen. The problem also is that we are severely understaffed. There are several activation points in this room. We don't know in what order they should go, but none of us can press them all at the same time, even with mage hand. And we have tried. We have done exercises, and I'm sorry to say, and he looks over at the gnome, he says, some of us are unable to move quicker than others. The last thing is there's a considerable bit of debris that has fallen on certain portions of it, and we have been slowly moving that aside, but we believe that there might be more idea of what we could do if we're able to read the manual that's behind it. So, but none of us are inclined towards strength. And he looks over at Imogen.
Do you need her to break something?
We need her to at least move that little pile of rocks over there. It doesn't sound glamorous, but it will enable us to have a better idea of what we're doing. Will you help us?
I can do that.
Marvelous.
I'll give you a hand.
Do what I can to help you as well.
Okay. I will go ahead and take athletics checks from at least Stonewind and Imogen.
Zelda, you gotta calm down.
I'm going to, whatever rocks they're using, I'm going to, or lifting up, I'm going to adjust the density.
Okay. I will give you advantage on those rolls.
Sweet. Ooh, I will take it. Strength check?
Strength check?
16.
16. It's athletics if that matters.
Oh, athletics?
Yeah.
Actually, it does. Then it's 19.
19 and 17?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys are able to, within a half hour, clear out a noticeable amount of debris. While you see the Dragonborn, the gnome, and Gold just kind of look onwards and just kind of smile at relief. You can tell that they've probably been at this for some time, and seeing it removed in such a fashion is quick. You also see Pi running up and like grabbing blocks just to remove them, just to show that he's putting forth the effort.
No, I was going to make sure he...
I don't adjust his density.
It is harder for him, and he says, sorry, I can't be moving faster. Moves over and he speaks to you, Imogen. He says, there's an issue here. He as he's moving blocks, he says, we were supposed to take whatever was causing the corruption back to Trebane. We can't move something this big. What are we going to do? And he goes ahead and he moves back the next block.
Send the
I think we
pigeons.
just need to keep going.
We have to have an end game here. There has to be something that we can bring back to Trebane. He's going to want something, even if it's how this door functions or even how to close it. I think we need to be able to take a good look at what we do to operate this thing. Because if
Okay,
not,
well, it seems like you have a plan. What are you
I-
thinking?
if we're able to do anything here, we need to at least trade in information. If we can't bring something physical back, and it doesn't seem like we can, then we need to at least let him know what we were able to do here and what the cause of it is. Information might be enough. I don't know. Darko's a very hard person to read. His happy face is very similar to his anger face.
No, I think you're right. So I round up the rest of the troop, and I've been thinking about it, and what are we getting out of this?
Well, I thought we were supposed to be ridding the wood of corruption. So I
Right.
suppose that helps us if we're able
This
to
is
do
going
that.
a little against, our main mission. So, is there anything that you think Levi can give us, Master Levi, sorry, can give us that will make it a little more worth our while and not get this little twerp in trouble?
Well, I'm worried if we ask for anything, they might consider us disposable. Until we have a better understanding of what exactly is going on here. I mean, he speaks of doors and transporting people across planets, and I don't know how exactly that's corrupting anything. The door itself is closed right now, right, DM?
It is, yeah. Although looking at it, you can
Okay.
see like through the cracks, this kind of almost black necrotic energy kind of peers out.
Yes, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I mean, we can't bring the doors back with us, but I mean, if all we need to do is satisfy the Tremaine family that it's been taken care of.
Okay. No,
Dust
I
point.
think something good will come of this.
Right.
Sure, I'm just double checking with everyone.
Yeah.
Dust points to his head. I mean, I remember everything. So
Okay.
any information that we have here, I'll hold on to, and we just hand it off to Trebane. Though, seeing what this does, a door to other worlds, a door to that not only can you go through, it brought such corruption. Don't think I'd want it in someone like Trebane.
I agree. Okay.
Can always fireball his house.
Mr. Stone.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
I have to really quick. This is what I'm dealing with right now. She's
Interesting.
laying on my laptop,
Ah, I see.
and I can't get her off. 'Cause
Precious.
sorry.
Not for D&D.
Well-
Stay for the cats.
Yes. Zelda's a camera hog. Well, I don't quite like the idea of him wanting to spread the empire further north. I think the Dwendalian Empire has enough as it is. So if we could in some way prevent them from using this for their gain and instead just focus on ending the corruption in the wood, I would say that's a win for everybody, except, well, the Dwendalian Empire, of course.
We've solved one elven riddle. I'm sure we can solve the others before they can. So now it's a matter of who solves it first.
Then I guess we better keep working fast.
Great. Back to it.
All right.
At this time, the students are kind of poring over the missing portion of the wall. They said, I believe we have a decipherable tool for the runes. Master Dust, perhaps you and Miss Gwenora could assist us with this next portion.
What do you need?
The gate itself seems to work off of a kind of energy. It implies that the magic is both arcane and divine in nature. There is symbology here indicative of a translational key, but I believe that it must work in tandem. maybe you can have a look at the runes and see if we can develop which order the activation code must be in.
If I did comprehend languages, would I be able to understand the runes?
Wouldn't hurt your chances.
Then
And
I'll
it's
spend 10 minutes looking over these runes. to
Okay.
comprehend languages.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check with advantage. Miss
sorry, what
Gwenor?
was the language?
It is not an actual language. It's closest to Celestial, but it seems to it draws from very old divine knowledge. Essentially, it is the language in which the gods and common folk used to speak with beforehand. There is a root language that you as an acolyte would understand, but it's going to take time.
Well, I do understand Celestial, if that helps.
I will allow you to, since you know the language that the runes are carved in, you may also have advantage on your check.
23.
Cool.
23, excellent.
Let's go smart.
Less
people.
advantage. 19.
19. The two of you are able to decipher which there are markings in the runes that in the room itself that indicates which what the sequence would be. There are at present 16 different buttons that must be pressed in a specific sequence in order to be activated. There seems to also be some kind of a window. The general consensus that you both get from your rolls is that this door could only be operated if there was such a great need that so many needed to leave. The idea being that no less than a certain amount of people could operate it. Of course, there are always side steps to that. There are currently several different buttons kind of all over this room, different kind of activations. Some are levers, some are knobs, some are actual buttons that you have to press in. The key that you're able to uncover is that they must be, when you activate them on one specific area, they must be done in tandem. So you have to hit all of them at the same time, but also in a sequence. So one area gets pressed all at the same time, then the next step all at the same time. It is a very complex, and it seems like overly complicated, designed that way to keep anyone from really messing with something they shouldn't have. Let me see here. Once you guys have the activation sequence set up, the gnome comes over. He says, "So I've been working on the way lines. Also, hi, my name is Bibble. You can call me Bibble Hogswash. Anyway, this entire ley line is out of alignment, and I'm not quite sure how to place it back into the fold. It looks like it goes in an uninterrupted line, and then a portion of it has swiveled out. I don't know how to swivel it back. There doesn't seem to be a mechanism in this room that does it. Any ideas?"
Could I roll an Arcana check to see if I know the answer to that?
I can give you a hint for an intelligence-based check.
13.
13. From what you can tell, the very specific look of this thing has curved edges on the end lines of this specific line that's running through the middle of the room. From what you can tell, it looks like this one has pivoted on almost a circle-like platform away. So you could probably move it back. The question is how.
So it's moving pieces into place, like almost like pieces of rock.
Yeah,
into place.
almost like circling like a Lazy Susan-esque kind of a platform back into place.
Do any of the controls on the wall look like they don't belong to the sequence? Maybe that
Make an investigation check.
One of these is not like the others.
Ooh, dirty 20.
From a dirty 20, you're able to uncover there is a kind of valve on here. As you try to like move it yourself, it does not budge. But this doesn't have anything to do with the activation sequence itself.
Maybe this thing over here, it doesn't budge, as you said?
Yeah, it just on the first kind of turn.
Imogen, I think you're much stronger than I. Perhaps you'd like to give it a shot.
I can do that.
Oh my god.
Going to adjust her density so that she has, if it's a strength check, she has advantage on strength checks.
Excellent. Imogen, you can make that roll with advantage. It would be athletics.
Okay. It's advantage. It's still going to be an 11.
An 11. Kind of pushing at it, like
There's
even
a lot of rocks just now. I'm just saying.
Trying to make this thing budge. It's like trying to open a jar. Different analogy. As you're trying to move this thing, your palms get sweatier and sweatier to the point where like it's hard to get and maintain a grip on it. The frustration feels like this kind of perspiration in your palms, and you're just not able to get a good grip on it.
I'd like to hand her my crowbar and be like, "Here, maybe this will help."
You may try to recheck it with using the crowbar, and you may still have advantage since the density is altered.
Okay. Before you hand me the crowbar, I have a little bit of a meltdown.
Okay.
Imogen, hey, listen, it's okay. We know you're strong. You don't have to prove it every time. It's okay, you know?
Everyone is watching, and maybe I get a little bit of stage fright. I don't know, but...
Oh, how about we turn around? How's it? Here,
yeah, if everybody could just look away.
Pi pipes up to the wizard. She said, "You heard her. Turn away.
Turn around. Hand me the crowbar. No peeking.
I start
please.
giggling, but I start giggling next to Gull. This reminds us of this kids.
Yep. Yep. Do you remember that bison ride? When we tried to
Do I ever?
All right, I rolled an 18. Everybody can turn around.
As you move the valve into place, it does very suddenly move the ley line. And in fact, the Dragonborn is kind of thrown from the platform because it moves so suddenly. Like, oh! They stand up and like, I could have used some warning. I didn't know.
You did hear us to turn around.
I turned around. I didn't know what you guys were doing. Oh, the ley line's in place. Excellent. Why isn't it glowing? Should be glowing.
I'm not magical. I'm just strong, okay?
I like to stab things. I don't know what I can do here.
I'm going to... I'll do another... Can I do another Arcana check to see?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nope. Natural 1.
Natural 1. From what you can tell, you need... There needs
That's
to be
a
like
7 total. But yeah.
Okay. You need a full front of magical energy, pure, unfiltered magical energy in order to work, is what you get from that roll.
Does this go back to you saying that it was arcane and divine?
Yeah.
Well, Miss Guanara, looks like I need any divine magic you may have, just a simple touch. I believe you and me blast this thing together. And see
I could bless you.
You might need to bless the door.
It's a ley line.
Oh,
it's a line running around running along the floor.
Well, I don't know if bless is the right thing, but
it's holy. If you have a cantrip,
that's true. All I have that would work that's holy is Secret Flame, but I don't think we want to set it alight.
You can go on. I believe that's holy, a holy fire. It's not. Yeah. It's a similar look, but different property.
The Dragonborn pipes are like, can't hurt. We've hit it with all manner of spells. We haven't been able to make it work for us.
What have you used thus far?
We've used Firebolt, Frost Ray, Ray of Sickness. We've used Magic Missile. We've even inflicted wounds upon it to see if that would work. Nothing so far. Couldn't make it happen.
You haven't tried Sacred Flame, no?
Does anyone here cast Radiance? None of us here cast Radiance.
You're the holy one here.
Well, I could do Sacred Flame.
You would like to cast it?
Yes.
Roll to hit it the floor.
5 + 4 is 9.
Okay. Luckily, it's a stationary target. As you hit it, you do see kind of like from the very edge of the room, this kind of light move through into the door, and you can kind of hear, and you see like the door partially like begin to unfold itself and kind of get bigger and expand just a bit, although it does not fully come apart. Master Levi kind of says, "This is it. We need only input the sequence and we can operate it manually. We would be able to close the other side of the door."
I'm going to use detect magic just to see. I would assume I'm going to see magic, but just to kind of measure like how much magic is coming out.
Sure.
Forget.
Detecting magic along the floor is an incomparable amount of divination magic, and from the door itself is the strongest pull of conjuration magic you have ever experienced. It's almost kind of like a sensory overload as you kind of ping this kind of magical sonar out. There is a lot of focused energy moving through this room right now. It's kind of frightening.
Mr. Levi.
Yes.
What? I know this is a personal question. What study of magic are you and your students? This is conjuration, and it's a lot.
Yes. We have with us Bipple Hogwash, who is our foremost conjuration expert, and we have Master Ziv, who is in fact a divination expert.
Whatever we need to do here, it's going to get bigger. Have shield prepared, have anything prepared to cover the blast for everybody.
Students, I believe that Master Dust has our best interests in mind. Prepare to cast shield at a moment's notice. Everyone, places. We need to be exact in order to open up this door. Once we do so, we can easily close it by repeating the same sequence. It will be very close. Everyone will do call-outs to make sure that we're going in the proper sequence. We do not want to get this wrong. The students and Master Levi go ahead and go over to the parts of the wall that have like the kind of 5-fingered triggers, levers, or dials. Everyone wants to take their position?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This is going to be a dex check from everyone in the group. We have to hit a certain average in order to operate this room. If you are proficient within sleight of hand, you can do that as well. Instead of the main roll. Yep.
Okay, sleight of hand. We got it.
Everybody roll.
I'm gonna do
Natural
real dice for
20.
this.
Let's go.
What's the total?
22.
22.
I got 22 also.
22. So 44 so far.
Let's go.
Let's add 7 to that.
7 or
Go
17?
Imogen!
7.
Alrighty.
She just moved a huge thing. Okay?
Yes,
Give her-
she's
give
doing
her
very
some-
well.
Very helpful. Thank you.
12.
12. Okay. 12 straight.
No plus?
You don't have a
Oh,
plus
plus
to
0.
dex.
No
Okay.
plus dex. I got severe plus con and wisdom, but no plus dex.
Does Pi have good decks? You want to include him?
He
The
is
more
helping.
You know
hands, the
what?
merrier.
You know what? I will say this. Your average total was a 16. All you guys have to do was hit a 15.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
So
Forget
You still
about
don't know
it.
what Pi does.
the students themselves, they press the buttons on the wall and then use mage hands in sequence, everyone calling out their numbers, pressing into the button. As you do, you can kind of see the wall kind of light up in these kind of strange geometric patterns. The walls, the door itself opens up and begins to expand, opening parts in between itself. As you see, only the outline remains as the door fully opens up. And as you all, in sequence, once again, press to close it, you can see it begin to contract and go and seal up just before everybody roll a d20 real quick.
This is pre-initiative?
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's not initiative. I want to be clear. This is not initiative. This is just to decide who.
Is it plus anything?
No, this is purely luck.
11.
Okay.
11. 10.
10.
14.
You can see a small figure come through the door and land at the base of it as the door finally shuts. All the students kind of leap and cheer. They're like, "We did it! We saved the world!" Like,
Wait, who saw it?
Master Levi said, "You students, it is not over." And he like points the staff at the figure on the floor. They say, "Who are you? Where did you come from?" She says, Where are we?" You can see as this dwarf stands up, she has red hair, and is in similar looking armor, but it is a darker shade with several dents in it. As you see what looks to be a somewhat older Gwenora.
What?
Where? She like looks at the door and she like touches it. She says, "No, this needs to be opened back up again. What happened? Where am I?" She like,
oh, good.
she looks at the she says, "Stone."
Wait, how are you there and over here as well?
Gwenora like follows the finger and she like, Gwenora, you make eye contact with yourself.
Yeah.
She says, "Okay, well that's a head scratcher."
With detect magic, do I see any?
Is that your mum?
No, I think it's me.
Yeah,
I never met her mom.
I don't understand what's happening here.
We tried to
Why-
close the
Do
door.
I?
Why do you need it open? Why did you need the door open?
The world, it's fallen apart on the other end. The ley line, the connection has to be reestablished. Otherwise, it's cutting it off from the other side. That I barely understand it. Dusk could explain this better than me, but this line, and she kind of like points at the lane line. It's feeding other people, and because the door was open ajar, it was giving life to a lot of other people, and now they're collapsing. We need to open this right away. There's no time.
Let's open the door. Let's go. Do it again in reverse, whatever you need to do.
Really quickly, can I do an insight check just to make sure that she's speaking the truth?
Sure, go right ahead.
I'm kind of looking. I'm gonna look. Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I? I'll give you. Can I assist him?
Oh yeah, you can get an advantage from that. Sure, you can.
Wonderful. The first one was an 8, but this one is a natural 20.
Yes.
Yay!
And that's 24 total.
24 total. There's a desperation in her voice. She's barely making any kind of sense. She seems a little bit like half crazed. You can see this is not a carbon copy of Gwenora. There are noticeable like scars. It looks like her hair is a little bit longer than Gwenora's herself. Everything about her kind of indicates that she's been roughing it for a while.
I'm gonna cast Charm Person on her to calm her. And
That's a save, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
correct.
Okay, that's a natural 1.
Going to her, Miss Gwenora, you're with friends. What happened?
You
We
better-
closed the door on our end.
Dust, we've been through this. I can't start all the way from the beginning again. We have a chance to get them all back. My family, your family, everyone. They're dying on the other side. If we don't restore the ley line, everyone is going to slowly disappear
And by
until there's nothing
restore-
left. Not even ashes.
And by restore, you mean open this door.
The door needs to be open. It's currently I can't explain it. When I spoke to you, you said it fractures. It moves the light that moves through it to other places, to other possibilities that give our places life. If this is the prime, this is the main ley line, it's feeding off of the energy from there. Dozens of other people, my family, your family, everyone on the other side.
What about the corruption here?
Look, there was always going to be consequences for it, but the ultimate consequences, if we shut this out, everyone we have ever known, everyone I have ever known is going to die.
And
Are you going to help me or not?
Pipe in and be like, well, of course you're me. I'm going to help you.
All right, come on. If they're not going to move, then we got to move on ourselves.
It's the meme with Spider-Man pointing at
She moves over. She says, I don't know if this is backwards on my end, but she like goes to part of the wall. She says, we need to move now.
Master Levi, we should follow suit. We should open this now, if this is the case.
Yeah.
If I know myself, and I think I do for the most part.
I don't know myself.
We'll
Well,
learn
I
to.
know that that's me. So
Well,
Fracture.
let's get moving, right, Pie? And I'll like smack him on the back, like, get him.
Levi says, "Furnace to all." All right, fine. Everyone's gonna have to make that same dex check.
okay.
As this is going on, I'm looking. Miss Gonora, please continue telling me as this is. Tell me. I'm listening to what you're saying. Tell me what's going on, as what happened as best you can while we're doing this.
It's like a broken pot. Like
I rolled a 7.
7. Okay,
19.
19. There we go.
Dexterity. Is this athletics or
Yeah, this
acrobatic?
this
Or
would be
sleight of hand, you said,
sleight
right?
of hand, yeah.
I'm distracted
20.
by old Gonora.
20. Okay.
21. Sorry.
21. Okay.
What did you roll, Miss Gonora?
Oh, it's a 14.
Okay. That's a total of 53 divided by 4. That's what, 12?
Ah, God, sorry.
You're good.
Slipped.
I'll go ahead and add in Gwenora Warden Lighthammer's sleight of hand as well for an 8. Add
That's
on to
a +0.
that. Not for this one.
Oh, I like old me.
That'd be 15 total for this. She says, it's like a broken pot. If you're walking down with a pot of water and there's a crack in it, the water inside there spills out onto the ground and helps grow everything else. That was the analogy that you made when I did. You guys, she presses into the wall at that moment, and all of them begin opening. They're like, it was the only way. It's the only way that Torog would be able to keep everyone safe. She looks over at you, Quinor. She says, we lost everyone. We lost Mom and Pa, all of our siblings. Imogen might have gotten the worst of it, but we were able to speak to one of the old gods, and they were able to tell us how to keep everyone safe. And we can use the ley line here to give life to all the other worlds. We just have to control it on this end here, and they're gonna help. And she points to the door as it opens up, and you see walk through one by one a Furbolg, a Tabaxi, and a half elf. Each of
Charm
them.
person on myself.
He's already charmed.
On myself?
No, I mean because you're charming. You guys walk through.
I wasn't kidding. Charm person on myself.
The other 3 versions of yourselves kind of walk through. Each of them a little bit different in kind of similar fashion. A few of them are a little bit older, or at least they look older. It doesn't really appear as much on Imogen, but you can see it on her face. Like it is the same blue scar running down the opposite side because it wouldn't be mirrored on the same one. She, although has her hair cut way shorter, she's still brandishing a pretty large axe, wearing no armor, and simply kind of like looks around the room with like this kind of coy smile. You can see Stone walking through wearing an eye patch with a rapier and dagger kind of resting on a small belt that kind of crisscrosses on his hips, wearing studded leather armor. His whiskers are a little bit more, well, his whiskers would always have been gray, but like he started to get like a few grayer hairs in the areas where the pure black was. The biggest difference is in the image of Dust. The Dust that walks through has his hair shaved down into what looks to be just a bald head of hair, or just a bald head, excuse me, just shaved head. His cloak looks as though it is similar to the one that Master Levi is wearing. He carries that same staff as well, and he looks on the other side. He says, Warden Lighthammer, you did it. Now the king can restore everything. You must have a lot of questions. So, I believe some introductions are in order. Dust, I'm Dust. And that's where we're going to go ahead and take a break right now.
Charm person.
I have-
Isn't this bad for like the time space continuum and stuff?
Possibly. We don't know.
Oh my
I
goodness.
have I have
Another
top of the hour on
different-
my end here. I'll go ahead and put it at 15 minutes for us to all come back. And it, in the meantime,
Fireball.
grab
Full
some
swig.
drinks.
Everything.
Cool.
All right, see you in 15 minutes.
See you
I'm
then.
gonna jump in that portal.
Do it. Do it. It's gonna be great.
Just tell me I won't. Tell me I won't.
Never tell me the odds.
Hello.
Still about a minute early,
Hi.
so.
Charm
hey.
person on all of them.
Dwight.
Lumen does not trust me at all.
Ah, big man.
Charm person level 4. Let's go.
Stay, buddy, stay.
Look at him. He's perfect.
I know. I had an Instagram story before I went live on my channel the other day. I was just, oh, bye. Okay, rude.
Done.
There he goes. But yeah, no, I was just testing out some of my camera settings. I didn't have any makeup or anything on, but he just like put his paw on my face. And so I'm like, okay, that goes in the stories.
He's a good boy.
share.
To remind you, Gwenara, you have a giant horned owl on your shoulder.
Oh, I do? I
Yeah.
think I missed that. Oops.
Neela's been hanging out.
Cool. Well, I wish my boys would hang out, but where's Bella? Where is she?
Oh,
Hi,
What a good
baby.
dog.
Hi.
Hi, honey.
That is
The
a good dog.
popcorn.
Oh my god.
I gave her popcorn, so now she's like, I'll come hang out.
That's
Yo,
good.
Y'all
Popcorn
got
okay
any
for
more of that
dogs?
D&D popcorn?
If you're just now joining us back, the adventurers were able to open up a door of light in this weird little garden of stone. You guys had been able to see yourselves from the other side come in, although each of you look a little bit more different. As you guys enter into the room, this is going to get confusing.
All dust.
The alternate dust merely says, we've been here before. I think that it would be prevalent that everyone finds their partner, and we do it that way. Just easier to explain. If that is agreeable with you.
But, sure. Yes, me. I believe.
Good. He kind of each of them kind of like walk towards each other. Let's go ahead and see what order. So this will be like reverse initiative. You're not fighting. You're rolling to see who gets to talk to whom. Everyone roll a d20 and just tell me what your total is.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
You can't really see it. It's clear, but yeah, natural 20.
It's a 17.
It's gonna be a 3 for me.
Okay. I'm just putting the order in the. How do I? There we go. I forgot how to spell Imogen. The fever. Dust, Gwenora, Stone, then Imogen. So, Dust, you were able to take in the image of your alternate self. You said, I think that you should ask a question and then I will explain. And from that, you'll probably have 2 more questions. So, if I know you,
Yes.
you'll probably want to cast Charm Person on everyone as we walked through, which is a good instinct. It's kept me alive. But I digress.
Hold on to you. I call. Oh, come, brother. Come to me. Come to us. Come to me.
Gull kind of joins you. They're like, this is the strangest thing I've seen working with the Cerberus Assembly. Hey, look, it runs in the family. And he like rolls, puts an arm on the other dust and like pointing at like the Soltris Academy robes.
First 2 questions.
Yes.
What happened? Us, this thing in us. What is it?
The short answer is that the Cerberus Assembly took advantage of our parents and essentially field tested a known working virility potion that would have resulted in children regardless, and that they added some extraplanar entity into the mix for each of us to see what would happen. Apparently, they are tied to different realms that exist and are exacerbated by certain personal, how to put it. We've felt lethargy, a sense of dread, agony, a sense of becoming heavier when we fight that. We are vigilant to an extreme, to push forth in a boundary, to go down and everything, and to be nonstop. This is the effects of the potion, and both the side effects of combating it versus succumbing to it. I no longer deal with that on my end. I'm going to keep this to one question per person, so I'm going to go ahead and move over. Gwenora. First, thank you. There are countless thousands, millions that are probably alive thanks to what we were able to do. Thanks for trusting in yourself.
It's not as if I had any other choice, is it?
Do you have any questions? I know that it was a twist to kind of to come to all this.
I don't know. There's part of me that would love to know how you got here, in a sense, and not here literally, like in a how we are now. But I also don't know. I want it to be a surprise.
Well, it's not going to happen the same way. I doubt we're even of the same domain of cleric.
Like, is this a dimensional thing? Are you like me but not me? Wait,
Yes.
that's not my question.
Well, you better think of one, dear. We have to move to the next one so that the audience understands. That pigeon's back. Someone get the shotgun.
Double advantage. Double advantage.
How dare you?
What's the most important thing you need from me right now?
Time. We're siphoning off the landlines to the other places where we're all from. The others in this room aren't from the same place that I'm from, but from different versions of the same place. Just the ones that survived. See, this is like this is the prime. You guys are always going to be, but for us, it's a little bit different.
Right. You said Imogen was dead.
No, she just had the worst of it. She, I don't envy her for a second. They picked her up out of a pretty desperate one. She was just swinging towards the end there. If it weren't for Dust, that version of Imogen wouldn't be in this room right now.
Well, then time it is. Okay.
Next up, I believe we have Stone. Stone goes over like, this is back when I was still handsome, I see.
Hey, you don't look so bad yourself.
Well, age does that to our kind. We gracefully accept it.
We do everything gracefully, I believe.
Well, we don't need to actually ask questions. If you just want to conversate about the good old days and other jobs we've run, I'd be happy to.
I am curious if we have the same history.
Well, that's going to be the question, isn't it? How do you define your history? What are the?
My concern is, you're not just future me. You're an older me from a different plane.
I might not even be older. I just. How old are you?
Shit, how old am I? 27.
That's what I'm 28. I'm a year older than you.
Oh. Wow.
The conditions of where I'm from are a little bit rougher, but we're not too far apart. Time might also move differently where I'm from based on this area here.
I like the eye patch. What? Really quickly, just is it real? What happened?
Well,
it looks good. It's badass. You know.
Yes, absolutely. I thought if you're going to be one-eyed, then do it with some style. In fact, it's not. And he kind of like flips it over, and you see like a mechanical eye underneath that like has like a little blue tint to it. He's like, we picked this up over in Islecross out of a small little vault that I found up there some time ago, adventuring with these folk. But it is attuned specifically to certain things, and it does hurt to keep on for a duration. It only uses what I need to, so keep my good eye and my necessary eye.
Interesting.
Yes. Well, what was I going to say? Well, Shane actually did this to me.
Ah, I see.
Well, I don't.
Boo!
We are more alike than I thought.
Imogen, your partner walks up to you and they're like, I don't really. I can answer your questions, but I'm not going to be able to do the British accent perfectly until I hear it. But I just need to know, is Reagan alive here?
He is.
Is Shannon still alive?
As far as I know.
Shit.
Is pie still?
His pie. Oh my god.
My question, can I ask a question?
I guess you can.
Do you remember this moment right now?
This never happened to me. I didn't get the chance to. I didn't meet the others until until it was kind of too late. Our worlds, they kind of started deteriorating. There were strange things like there was how to put it. Whoa! I hit myself. Here we go. There was this psychic miasma, this rustic rain, electric wind. The world just started breaking down. It couldn't maintain its beingness, as I understand it. I'm switching into Scottish. I can't. It's like
I'm so sorry.
It's all good. The British is like the hardest for me for whatever reason.
So when did you leave Palebank?
Might have been. Jeez, when did everything? When was the last good day? Maybe a year and a half.
Okay. I'm just trying to see where we would have met up and then split off a little.
Mr. Dust.
Finish it. Well, I told you. I told you we were created.
He's right. And it was important to understand that once we found the files on the Cerberus Assembly, the only way to truly understand what happened was to infiltrate them. My mind was my own, but I rejected Master Avon's offer and began to study chronology, which is how I ended up in the Cerberus Assembly studying way lines and the like.
So are they as bad as Avon has told us?
Avon wax poetically about them. I believe that he sees them in a darker light for the way that they treated them. And there are not perfect people working in the Cerberus Assembly. Some of them are right bastards, but sometimes in a hard situation, you don't need a good person to do the work that needs to be done. Sometimes it takes the will of someone who's willing to push through darkness.
Maybe I'd like to go. Gull, maybe I'll take you up on your offer, at least keep it in mind. Main question now. What is this? Cat.
This is saving our world.
How?
I explained it to the group as though it were a broken watering plant. There's a crack in the side of it that leaks water that fuels plants and gives them what they need to survive. The door with just a crack can open possibilities, our worlds to exist, but they are unstable worlds, ones that crumble, break apart, and eventually disappear into nothingness. They're consumed by the raw ether matter of it all. They disappear to wherever gods are formed. But with the door open long enough, we can give it all the water these plants need, all the energy and sustainability that our worlds can be provided. That's what we're doing.
We're suffering corruption on this end.
What? One more time?
We are suffering corruption on this end.
Well, we are suffering extinction on ours. And at this point, Miss Gwenora,
Yeah.
did you have a question for your other self?
No. No, I don't. I don't know.
It's weird. It's okay. It's not going to be an easy process to understand by any means, but I mean, at least what you're doing on your end here is going to keep your family safe too.
Okay.
You know, it's not just us being affected; it's you also. We came over here to save our own places, but also to save you.
All right. Well, I don't know. I guess I don't have a question. I just kind of want to. I'm just here to help, and that's
good.
all.
That's great. A long time ago, I remember working under the light of Raya and seeing and helping as many people as I could. But at the end of the day, I could really only understand one thing, and that's to keep people safe, to truly keep them safe, you have to keep them in order. The chaos of the world just breaks people apart. And sometimes their freedoms are the things that actually ends up killing them. So, Stone, I do need to ask, what was the last job that you pulled? The last stint on some person that you stole from?
I gotta find the name. I'm getting there. Well, I mean, the last back in. First of all, you do live on a version of Exandria, yes?
Oh yeah, no.
Wonderful.
I'm from Palma Flora. Are you?
From where?
Hold on a second. Check my notes here. Here we go. Oh my gosh, did I? Oh, my home is Tosoa.
Ah, yes. Okay, me too, as well. Yes.
Yeah, but I spent most of my time in Port Damali. I mean, Tosoa's home, but I mean, Port Damali's where I spend most of my time.
Yes, where I spend most of my days.
Hmm.
The last job I pulled was with, oh my God, where's his name?
It's all good. I had this stuff prepared.
With Towlin. With Towlin. The one that went, well, didn't go quite well.
Yeah, it doesn't end up getting any well as well.
That's what I see. At the moment, I've avoided Shane.
Yeah. You can only avoid him for so long. He blacklisted me across the Menagerie Coast, and for me, the best option was the simplest. I killed him. I found out where he was, and I called him out, and I ended up slitting his throat.
Well, I've avoided killing people as much as possible, but I will say I would rather not have my death perception ruined by the likes of Shane. So if worse comes to worse, I will do what I need to do.
You need to retaliate first is what's going to happen. You can only look out for yourself. This helping others, I remember how naive I was. You could help as many people as you can, but at the end of the day, no one is looking out for you. You can only keep your eye on one person, and that should be yourself. Because if you don't...
Understood.
Imogen, did you have a question for your alter self?
Do you think becoming an adventurer was the right choice for me?
I think if we didn't make that choice, we would be dead. So I'm inclined to say yes. I learned a lot of things in my travels. I saw the worst in people. I saw the worst in myself too. I don't know if I'm good because I became an adventurer, but I've been changed by it for being alive. when my world was being torn apart, it was I was fighting just ghosts of the people that used to be, just malformed whatevers. But I will say this. If I hadn't have been an adventurer, I wouldn't have been able to kill Shannon. That was truly satisfying. Mr. Dust.
Well, so with this entire, I'm gonna snap Neela back to me and kind of lift Neela onto the shoulder of future me. If all of this energy is in some sort of jug, you're suffering extinction and we're suffering corruption. Is there no way to change the result?
That was my exact thinking as well. I've been working on this problem for near on a year, and we are actually a part of the solution right now. The Divine Gate was closed off to everyone, but when they were locked behind it, they weren't necessarily through a barrier. Some of them just moved their positions. Take Torog. Torog was sent to the plane of Karsri, but Karsri itself is actually another world itself. It is a large area that houses very dangerous energies, but it is also one of the most accessible. I reasoned that if I could reach out to Torog, that I might be able to find a way to keep everyone in existence by siphoning the specific amount of power that we need from here. We are able to keep our original worlds alive in possibility, with some minor concessions to things on your end over here.
Such as?
Well, for one, the deal for Torog to restore our worlds was a generous one on his behalf, but it was not something that could be performed without the elements needed to do so. He had to draw power from the main ley line here, and we can't just leave the door continuously open, otherwise you'll corrupt into nothingness. So we found another route, and we should almost be coming up on that soon here. We allowed Torog to stay on his side of the Divine Gate, but if we keep this open long enough, Karsari will be able to anchor themselves here. And from there, we can continue the steady flow of energy that keeps our worlds alive.
Who's Karsari again?
Karsari is the name of the plane that Torog dominates.
And so,
are we able to hear all each other's questions?
I'm going to go ahead and say no on this one.
Damn it.
So we can. So just to kind of, Torog's in Karsari, and so they're trying to pull the energy from Karsari, or at least to keep him in Karsari.
The idea is this: Karsari is going to open. The door is going to be open from Exandria here to Karsari. Karsari is going to anchor themselves to this door, and they can dispense the energy that's coming through it to the other worlds themselves.
Okay. So
there is, yeah.
So okay, it goes from it's like okay. Now I see the refractory. So it's Exandria to Karsari, and then
precisely. But I said a few concessions will be made. The corruption may not continue. I believe that it was on my planet. It was slightly ajar to the plane of the Feywild, and it is what caused all the darkness to spread throughout Molaesmyr originally. But now that it's opened here, elements of Karsari will probably come over here as well.
What elements?
Hard to really say. Gwenora, the other you starts to get like this look in her eyes when she's like talking about, you have to understand, like, changing faiths wasn't the easiest decision. I left my home in Uthadarn because of what my family didn't believe and what I did. And so it was like the hill I was willing to die on. I didn't anything. I wanted to be the one who put the holy day of Raya on the map, but when time came, She didn't answer any of my prayers. One by one, I saw the lights get snuffed out from each of our family members, the Kryn dynasty, the Dwendalian Empire, all of it. All of Alexandria just ends up extinguished. There is no light there. But there is someone in the dark who helps, and that is Torog. He's the one who keeps and secures us from the worst of our elements, even within ourselves.
I just don't understand. I mean, why? To me, that makes no sense. To me, even through hardship, there's still a way to find the light. So I don't know what you've gone through, but I don't know. I wish I could help you.
I've already been helped. I've been able to get the power to restore the life of my own world back. Maybe I can't bring back the people I love. Not yet, anyway. But through Torog, through his teachings, through his guidance and his law, we are all able to experience order once again.
I just don't know that I agree.
It is the better way. Stone, did you have a question for your alter self?
Yes. So, my myopic friend, your dust mentioned the king.
Yes.
The king will restore. Who is the king?
Well, the king is Torog. Torog is the crawling king. He's the one who makes all of this happen.
Makes all of what happen?
Well, he's the one who allows us to latch on to your way line here and give our lives back. It's through his plane that he is able to take that energy and disperse it equally, and to his own benefit as well.
How is it his own benefit?
Carcery is currently lying along this same way line, but it acts as though, as how do I put it? It's a mirror. It's a way of refracting the energy outward, but it also is absorbing it as well. Torog is becoming more powerful. He may be able to actually smash through the divine gate at some point, a good old-fashioned jailbreak. And so,
what does Torog promise you besides keeping your planets alive? Because I must say, I've never come in contact with the crawling king in our end.
Well, I suppose restoration of my world. Once I understood what was going to happen to my planet, I thought, try to make the best of it with the time that I had left. So I went back to the Menagerie Coast. After I took care of Shane, I started working for some of the more opulent members of the Marquise and began doing work for them, mostly side businesses in order to keep them, with a firm control. Because at the end of it, when things start breaking apart, you need a sense of order. Chaos is fun, but it's a naive idea. You can't continue to just help everyone you can and to disrupt the people who bother you. It's math that doesn't add up. But if you help those in charge retain their power and in fact enforce it and grow it, then people are prepared for when the worst hits them.
I see. So you've come a long way from where we came from. And it is not at all how I am now.
I suppose not. My myopic friend. Oh, my biopic friend. Shit,
biopic?
I had that line. Sorry. Biopic.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, myopic could still totally be valid.
Oh, but yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
What is to become of our? What did Torog say would become of our realm then? If he's siphoning off our energy?
Well, that's just it, isn't it? You have to see the big picture. It's strange. You might have two eyes, but I think I see more. You see, in order to do this, Torog's going to need a more direct connection. And every inch, Carcery is getting closer as the moments pass by. So I'd imagine that Exandria is going to look a little bit more like where he's from. Not a bad thing. Not comparably.
Excuse me a moment, would you?
Sure.
I will walk straight over to Dust and pull him. And sorry, Dust. May I borrow a Dust?
You can walk across, but I'm going to go ahead and give Imogen
Sure,
another
yes,
moment
as I get over
while
there.
it's happening. I don't. It'll sound hard to hear, but at the end of it, I kind of regret our father's last request. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have seen the things I did. I mean, I needed it, but I wish it had been my decision, not to live out his old ghosts.
Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it.
He was sick. Who knows how much of his mind was still in there at the end, but
It's weird that you feel that way because I've always wanted to do it for him, but never felt like he made me.
I did everything our father asked. I remember him telling me stories and working in the workshop for as long as we did in Palebank. I remember Shannon undermining everything our parents ever taught us. But at the end there, when he passed, I put so much into him. I put so much. And now I don't get that back. It's not an experience that I get to look back on fondly anymore. It's regret. You have to understand, everyone that I saw, everyone that I cared about, even the people that I didn't like, they all die. We are the last person at the end of it all. For years.
So, what do you think we could have done differently that would have made a difference? Would have made you happier?
We should have killed Pi. No.
In time.
I was actually
I
just
must
typing in
die.
chat while you were saying that. I was like, even Pi dies.
There is no future Pi in this group.
I don't know.
Sorry.
The wizard seems to have a pretty good idea that if we work with this Torog, that we will eventually be able to go back to the way things were. I don't know what that means for me. Maybe I'll just stay here, but I mean, I can go ahead and take care of the Shannon here. It wasn't a very hard fight. It would not be a fight that I would stray away from either. But I can just
You would
pretend to
do
be.
that for me.
Yes, I would kill Shannon 1,000,000 times over. One of the last things that I enjoyed in the first years is hearing the wet pop as she just gurgled her last. It was like music.
Other dimension, Imogen, you are way darker than I am.
I did a lot of things I'm not proud of to survive, but I survived it. At this time, Stone, you can go over to your dust.
Yes.
As I'm walking to him, I'm going to cast message, point to my future self. Which in the Cerberus assembly give me names who I need to watch and be careful of. And then I'm gonna walk with Stone.
Okay. Dust kind of looks over at Gold and smiles as he pulls out a small little piece of parchment and just starts beginning to just writing something with an infinity pen. Stone, Dust, you have the floor.
I'm gonna have Neela pick that paper up when he's done and give it to me. Okay. Suspicious or not?
This other version of Stone is not like me at all. These people have gone through a lot of ordeals, and some god has told them if they help him siphon off the energy from our realm, that he will restore theirs, and then they were very iffy on the consequences. But one thing Stone said was that our realm would look a lot like his. And he's known as the
Right.
Crawling King, apparently, which doesn't sound like it's a good place to live.
If the dust from whatever dimension of you time they've heard didn't, I see there's some things I agree, but yes, there are some things that I completely does not sound like me. For
Yes.
one, can I history check Torog and Crawling King?
You can do a religion check.
Okay, cool. What? Yes, sir.
I wouldn't know. I mean, I actually know this, but my character doesn't, and it's very frustrating.
15. It's that keen mind. Look at my notes.
15. There are 3 with this. I can tell you that Torog is considered to be one of the betrayer gods. He was locked behind the divine gate. Now, this could just be a different version of him on a different realm. Like, we're dealing with a different time entirely. But at least Torog on your end over here knows that he is depicted as a swollen, malformed worm that slithers in the dark below, screaming with a screaming, hairless head at the helm and 3 arms carving through the lightless rock. His commandments are seek and exalt places where no light abounds, revel in the pain you inflict on others, and relish the pain you suffer yourselves as an offering to Torog, and imprison those who cannot resist you and drag all life into darkness.
Mm-hmm.
The Crawling King?
Yeah, the Crawling King is another name for Torog.
Oh, okay. As we're kind of having a discussion, I'm going to bring up this little piece of wire and look towards Master Levi.
Levi.
Mm-hmm.
And just, Master Levi, I do not trust what these individuals are saying. On my go, be ready to close the gate. And I...
Would I hear him cast that message? It's not is it telepathic?
It's telepathic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But you'd see me bring this little wire to my mouth.
Mm-hmm. As you're sending that over, you see just Master Levi just kind of nod and pull out a little string and begin whispering into it as well. The students, like one by one, kind of like notice that someone's like speaking to them, even though it doesn't look as. It sounds like someone's receiving, like someone's talking to me in my head for just a brief moment, and they each start getting closer and closer to the wall where their activation points are.
I'm going to cast message as well to Gwenora and Imogen. I don't know about you. I don't trust this other self. There's a few things that don't line up.
I completely agree.
We are closing the gate. On my go, I'm going to run and shut my mouth.
Understood. I agree. They don't seem quite right now that I really think about it. And that's all I have to say.
Okay.
I'm
go ahead.
Dust puts a little bit of gold dust on the scarf around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And
Real quick, before we kick this off, Mr. Stone, as you see Dust casting messages to people around the room, you do hear in your voice, Mr. Stone, a quick word, if we're able to speak.
Who is it?
It's Ragazu.
Oh, yeah.
Zuzu.
Yes.
Listen,
hey Zuzu, what's up?
Well, I was a party to that conversation. I thought it'd be prevalent that you get all the information that you need. I need to tell you something about your other person. They suck. Also, they don't have a version of me on their hip.
Yes. So, I mean, they're from a different realm. They don't have the exact same history as we do. Maybe he never went to the Savalier Wood to find you.
If that's true, then perhaps you can use that to an advantage if you're going to try and strike at him. If he's not carrying an equal and opposite, then perhaps he won't be expecting it if you try to take him on with it. I'm just saying there are many weapons in your arsenal, and it's been a long time. I can't give you the benefit of assuming his form when you strike him, as you will be him, and he is you already. But I can absolutely work on your end to expel this other version.
Stay close. If it comes to it, I will utilize your
Oh,
skill.
Stone, I'm always close.
I got you, Boo Boo.
Mr. Dust, I'll take a dexterity check real quick.
15.
15. Alrighty. You're going to get yours off before I get mine off. You were
Okay.
casting some gold around your scarf.
Right, and then I'm going to Misty Step and tie it around my future person's mouth and just say, close it now!
The group is going to go ahead and try to close the group, or close it on their own.
At 4th level, by the way. It's a movable object at 4th level.
Okay, so that's going to make the DC considerable, if I'm not mistaken.
It goes up. It goes up by 5, and it also holds for 24 hours.
Okay. As you do that, the other students like rush to the sides and begin like clicking them and using Mage Hand to move on their end as well. Pike doesn't get the message because he never told him. He's like, "What's happening?" They are not fast enough to activate it on their own, and you.
I'm assuming we would help, right?
Oh, if you are, then the 3 of you can make dex checks as well.
Yeah, I thought that was the message that Dust sent. Like, get ready to close the gate on his mark.
I
Right?
told
Yeah,
everybody
he
to
said
close.
on his mark.
Understood.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm working through a foggy
We're
head.
the DM
You're good.
now.
We
Y'all can
run
go
this
ahead and make
multiverse.
that dex save or dex check. Excuse me.
Sleight of hand still.
Sleight of hand, yes, if you're proficient at it.
Good, because I needed that. 15.
Okay.
6.
Natural 20.
Really? Okay. So
Ooh.
15 plus
Go.
20 plus 6. That's 35. 41 divided 3 ways is 13 at the minimum. DC is 15 to activate the gate. You guys are not fast enough in order to do so. At this moment, as they see you leap from there to hit the sequence in the order as Master Levi does this, you see... hang on a second. I want to make sure that I do this by the book before I cast this, because if it's a verbal component, then he won't be able to do it.
Spell is it? Because I would have it. Maybe.
I can silence.
That's the other thing.
Well, hold on, because
Well, he's already silenced with an immovable object.
Maybe.
Correct.
Yeah, maybe.
But I can do it again.
Like I'm covering it around his face. His whole face. The scarf goes around his face.
hold on.
Oh,
Let me
so
go
he's
ahead and
blind.
just check this real quick.
I don't know. That deaf, dumb, and
Shit.
blind kid.
Misty
sure
Step
plays
is
in
verbal.
pinball.
Yep.
It's the
Misty
only thing
Step.
for it. Damn. All right, let me see what else I got for the Warden of Dust. Nope.
All of my stuff is verbal,
True.
except for one thing.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
That might work.
God,
Depends which one he's doing.
he might have different spells than you too.
Yeah, he does. I did not consult the player sheet of Lumen before I made this.
I also have something to do the same exact thing, though.
oh,
I know exactly how to counter myself.
oh. That's a good wizard.
We're at a duel here. I'm trying to think. What would be good? Sorry, I'm taking up time considering what my options are. It's not a... The thing is, it's not a feature. Or it is a feature, so it's not a spell that can be counterspelled, and you'd need a verbal for that anyway. You know what? I don't think there's anything they can do to get out of this. That's interesting.
Cool.
But I can stop you from doing anything else, so I'll go ahead and take a con save from you, Mr. Dust. This does not actually require verbal. This is also just a feature that can just happen.
Okay.
Trying to beat 14. And he might be able to do it. It's not a...
16. Let's
All
go.
right. You can feel like this involuntary stasis begin to cover onto
Oh,
your
that's
form.
right. He's not me.
He's not graviturgy. He's chronology. You can feel the stasis kind of begin to well around you, but you are able to abate it. At this point, you see Dust grab his staff and go, And you see Imogen across from you. Your double just kind of smiles, and her eyes light up red, almost as though they were kind of flaming. As she like grips her warhammer, she says, and that's where we're going to go ahead and end the session for tonight. We will go ahead and begin the next one. We will start with initiative. Oh gosh, I had such plans for you guys. We might as well
Keep it going. Keep it going. Who has to leave?
it's 7.
Who has to leave?
I have to leave, actually.
Boom!
Yeah, me
there
too.
it is.
Okay.
I have to do my
there's-
campaign next.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's true. Gosh, I have to rearrange. Well, now I have a good idea of where everyone is, so that helps. Okay, place you there.
Son of a bitch.
It's true.
I
you
knew
guys
it.
would have
I
been.
knew it.
Good episode.
Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah.
Do you guys enjoy? So, okay, 1st and
Mhm.
foremost, thank you to Corporate Streams for sponsoring us and placing us onto the internet. Thank you all our wonderful players for being a part of this incredible and weird journey. And oh my gosh, we'll be here next week. Please come back and watch and enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit the freeze frame thing.
This
Bye,
is
everybody.
a cliffhanger. You
Yeah,
got to
not a
come
freeze
back.
frame,
Come
the end
back. Come back.
Yeah, you don't know if they live or not, and they don't.
One of us doesn't. Someone
Hey.
dies.
It could only be one.
Nah, you're all gonna be fine. Bye, guys.
There
Bye.
can only be one dust. Auto sympathicals, give me a